Hi, I'm Caleb Jones. This is Alpha Male 2.0. I am very excited to talk to you today about Alpha Male 2.0. Many of you have been complaining nicely. You're very polite about this, that I have been ignoring or shortchanging Alpha Male 2.0 content over the past few months, maybe a year, where I talk more about it's all sovereign CEO, it's all five flags, and it's all business. We can talk about dating multiple women and testosterone and anti-aging and the good stuff, Caleb. And guess what? You're absolutely right. So this is the first. Today is the day. I draw the line today. You're going to have a lot more Alpha Male 2.0 content, Alpha Male 2.0 technique, Alpha Male 2.0, all kinds of stuff, at least for the rest of the year. I plan out the next several months. So we're going to get into it today. Today we're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to talk about primarily Alpha Male 2.0 for the modern era, for the 2020s, why it is now easier to be an Alpha Male 2.0, to date multiple attractive women, to live a location-dependent lifestyle, and do all these things in a way where you can experience maximum masculine freedom without having to be rich. Let me check the technology here. Yes. Started a little early, so I'm going to just shoot the shit for a few minutes. But this is easier now. I'm going to give you very specific examples and fact-based, statistical-based analyses as to why it is easier to be an Alpha Male 2.0 than it was years ago when I started back in 2007. Alpha Male 2.0 back then was hard. I actually said at the time, I said, this is really hard, guys, but it's worth it. Today, it's not hard. Today, it's easy or easier. I'll talk about that in great detail. Those of you who are coming online right now on the live session, if you could do me a favor and put the number 2 in the chat, not the comments, YouTube comments, but in the chat. And if you could both see me and hear me. If you can see me and hear me with the beautiful Alpha Male 2.0 logo, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. People are still fighting. I started a little early because I end up talking extemporaneously too long. So like if I start a few minutes early, then I won't talk too long extemporaneously. Cool. I'm seeing 2s. Awesome. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you. All right. Thank you. We'll get started in a few minutes. Do you have any quick questions? I can answer those before we get started. I have a different screen set now where when I look at the slides, I'm actually looking at the right direction. See, right. I'm looking at the slide now, so I'm actually looking. My head is turning the correct direction in the fucking. I can't wait to get my apartment next week. I'm just counting down the days. Literally, it's like 8 days left, 7 days left. Oh my god, been homeless for almost 3 months. Not bad. That's okay. I can deal, but I'm a little tired of it. I was supposed to be moved into my apartment last week, but as I mentioned in the last the Sovereign CEO live stream we did yesterday, everybody's moving to Dubai, so there's delays now of moving into buildings because they'll build a building in Dubai and then they'll just fill it. They have like 15, 20 move-ins per day in the building I'm moving into. Like, we have to wait, sir. Like, that's fine. I'll chill. So I'm in an Airbnb. That's why I have this little, you can't see it. Actually, I'll change this. You can't see it. The little old lady. What is that called? Dresser? There's like dresser, armoire, credenza. See, I've been married twice, so I know all these girl terms for. It's not. If that's an armoire, what's an armoire? What the hell does that mean? God damn. Anyway, all right. So, any questions? Let's see what we got here. What's your advice to becoming outcome independent? We'll touch on that today. Ask yourself, why do I care? Why do I care? I care because of this. Okay, why do I care about that? Well, I care because of this. Okay, why do you care about that? You just keep asking yourself why, and eventually you'll go, I guess I don't care about that. Just do that's where you start. Why do you care? And you'll realize you care because of one or two things. The two enemies, sovereign CEO. Been working hard lately, not sovereign CEO. Societal programming and obsolete biological wiring. If you're really fucking pissed about something, or you're really concerned about or needy about something, it's because of the way you were raised, societal programming, or obsolete biological wiring that made sense 150,000 years ago, but it doesn't make any fucking sense today. Make sense? So that's where you start. And it's easier said than done. If you have my books and stuff, I have some exercises in there. Any non-sugar epi in your primary location, not typing it in case anyone is checking. Any non-sugar baby in my primary location. Oh, I see. You don't want to say the name of it? The answer is not yes and not no. It's complicated. I can't give you more detail publicly. Join the UMS program. I can give you some more specifics. The answer is not no, but not yes. Yeah. All right. Let's see how else we're doing on here. Let's see here. Have you talked about climate change, believe it or not, and its effects it may have on a Five Flags lifestyle? I have mentioned it. It has not. There's no major effect on a Five Flags lifestyle, but climate change, not global warming, climate change is real, and I will tell you how I know it's real. Whether or not humans have affected climate change is the debate and the question, and I don't think anyone knows. What percentage fault is it of humans that climate change has occurred? I don't know, and I don't think anyone knows that. 5%, 40%, 90%, it's all over the fucking place. There's no consensus, therefore there. But for people who say climate change is bullshit, no. I lived in the Pacific Northwest United States. And I promise you, the climate there is radically different in a typical year than it was in the 1980s when I was a young man. It's completely different. The summers are completely different. The winters are completely different. It has permanently changed, at least in that region of the world. And I'm not the only person who knows this. We've had several summers where we didn't even have a summer. It was like cloudy all summer. Well, that's weird even for Oregon. And then we used to, when I was a kid and a teenager and a young man in the Portland, Seattle area up there, it would snow hardcore, not every year, but like every second or third year. Now it rarely snows. And it's not that it's getting warmer, it's just different. So, but in terms of the political thing, it doesn't matter. I've written articles on my blogs about this. There's no law if you're a left winger, there's no law you can pass that will stop climate change if you think it's humans' fault. China, Russia, India are going to do whatever the fuck they want and then just give you the finger. What law are you going to pass in fucking Oklahoma to change the climate? You're not. It's stupid. Let's see here. I'm considering getting functional Esuite, C-suite contract workers. Your thoughts? Oh, fractional C-suite. Go ahead. I have one. I have a fractional CFO. Go for it. They're expensive. Get ready to spend some money. But if you hire someone good, you'll make money. My CFO has already made me money. So, yeah. All right. Let me check the technology here. We'll get started in a few more minutes. Since this is only streaming on the Alpha Male 2.0 channels, I expect less people on this live stream than is typical. It's only going to half the audience. So, which is fine. That's okay. We can talk about things like pussy on these things. Whereas the other ones, can't talk about that. I said, sorry, I can't talk about that. That's not a CEO. Sorry. So you can actually ask me a question about this. How's the weight loss going? Looking good. I answered the other day. It's not going great. It's not going bad. I have not had my surgery for my arms yet, so I can get back into weightlifting for my upper body. And I've been traveling a lot, so my diet has not been bad, but it's not been good. I've not lost weight. I've been gaining weight, but I haven't lost weight in a bit. So interestingly, I was just talking to my fitness coach today. And I told him the plan. I said, next week, I was supposed to be settled in my new apartment now. I mean, I literally have boxes all over the apartment here. It's a fucking nightmare. I have a gym I'm going to go to, but it's the other side of town now because I'm not in the place where anyway. So when I get settled, 100% settled back in my routine, this is cool. I'm going to be, for the next several months, I will not be traveling at all, and I will not have my wife with me. And wives don't necessarily make you fat, but they don't make you skinny either. You know what I'm saying? You married guys, you understand. So both these factors that are pressure on me losing body fat, negative pressure, are now going to be gone. So starting in about a week and a half from now, I can't wait. I'm going to hit this shit hard. I'm going to get down to, my goal is 200. Now this is for me now. At my height, my body, I'm a big guy. 213 pounds by December 21st, which is when I go back to the United States for a few days for Christmas. That's my current goal. I'm going to look pretty good at 213. I look decent at 250 when I was like chubbier than this. I'm a big guy. When you're a big, stocky, broad guy, you can gain more weight and still look okay. When I was at my fattest, 250, I would tell women at the time I'm 250 pounds fat. They're like, you weigh that much? You don't look that big. I'm like, oh, I am. I'll weigh on the city. So that's the advantage. When you're a short guy or when you have a smaller build, then the fat you can really see. That's why tall guys have an advantage. I'm not tall. I'm 5'10" and a half. I'm 25 and want kids one day. What should I do as an alpha man 2.0? You need to wait till you're 35 to have any. Excuse me. You need to wait till you're 35 before you settle down with a woman. Well, it's 30. 30 before you. Wait a minute. What's my model here? I've lost my own model here. Yes, 35. 35 before you settle down with a woman. So if you're a young man, you do not move in with a woman. Stupid, and you don't have kids. You shouldn't have kids until you have accomplished your major financial goals in life. That might be your early 40s, and that's the way it fucking goes. There's no rush. We are men. We can have kids whenever the fuck we want, unlike women. I love it when men act like women. Well, I better hurry up and have kids. I'm 29. My mom's yelling at me. Oh, no. Are you a chick? No. So you don't have a girlfriend until you're 30. You do not move in with one until you're 35. You don't have kids until you accomplish your major financial goals. That's the answer. Let's do 2 or 3 questions, then I will we'll get started here. Did you look deep into whether South Hemisphere is better for survival in case of nuclear war? Yes, I have looked into that. The answer is yes. Relationships cause men to fatten up. Yep, the high test drive lowers for men when the relationship absolutely plummets and prolonged monogamous. Oh, yes, we have all the data on this. Absolutely, of course. You're right about that. Yep. Do I need 2% rule backup deposits at fertility clinic? I'm 25, prepping for vasectomy, no children, ever. Thoughts? So here's what I recommend for you guys getting vasectomies. And maybe want kids. It's 2%. It's not 2% rule is not relevant here. You want to have your sperm stored in 2 different clinics in different parts of the country, and now you're covered. No matter what happens, now you're covered. That's it. Read any good fantasy lately? Yeah. A lot, but some of the biggest fantasy I can't recommend because you wouldn't like it unless you're a fantasy psycho. So the best fantasy series ever written, better than Lord of the Rings, and I mean this, is Malazan Book of the Fallen. I did a whole article about this on my blog a few years ago. The problem is I can't recommend it for those people because the author, Steven Erikson, doesn't explain anything. He just says, okay, and then this happens, and this happens. You're like, what the fuck? He doesn't explain anything. And so most people can't last for the first 100 pages. They go, this is stupid. He's not, I don't know what's going on. Right. So you don't know what's truly going on until like the 3rd book of the series, and they're big, thick Game of Thrones style books. There's 10 books. So I can't recommend it. Fantasy for that everyone will like, especially if you want alpha male cool fantasy, is First Law. First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. Amazing. Just read the first book. First chapter, you'll be like, oh, this is good shit. All right. Let's get started here. You can keep asking questions if you like. I will do a full Q&A at the end. All right. And unlike other live streams I've been giving lately, if you want woman questions, we can get as far deep in the woman shit as you want. This is Alpha Male 2.0. You can also ask questions about business and 5 flags. Sovereign CEO is under Alpha Male 2.0. Alpha Male 2.0 is the umbrella. So you can ask business questions. You can ask 5 flags questions. You can ask woman questions. Anything that we talk about under the Alpha Male 2.0 umbrella. People forget this. They think that Sovereign CEO is above Alpha Male 2.0. Oh, no. Alpha Male 2.0. Sovereign CEO is half of Alpha Male 2.0. So you can ask business questions in Alpha Male 2.0 because that's half of being an Alpha Male 2.0. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right, let's get started here. Should I make the slide bigger? Yeah, I better make it bigger. Let's make this fucker bigger. Ooh, it's big. All right. Well, hang on. Drink water. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover a few basics just to cover the percentage of audience who are new or newer to this material. Many of you are very comfortable with this material and you understand it. So I'm not going to go into detail on the basics because you understand this stuff. I'm going to buzz through this, but I do need to cover some of this stuff because we get new people all the time, new eyeballs all the time, this material. So if I just start talking as if you know everything, I'm going to confuse you. So I'll make this compatible both for relative newbies to this material and those of you who know this well. Trust me, there's content, the slides for both sets of people. All right? Okay. Alpha Male 2.0 is the greatest lifestyle available to the modern day man without having to be rich. Period. End of story. I have not seen any other lifestyle. And I said this, goddamn, I was saying this back in 2010. And it's still true today in 2023. So in the 13 years since I said this, I still have not seen any other lifestyle model for men in the modern era. Now, I've seen stuff for women, but this is about women. This is about men. I've seen a lot of red pill tradcon guys giving advice as if it's 1952. It's not 1952. So men in the modern era, this is the number one lifestyle. And I've looked at other lifestyle models recommended by various people, including people who are famous like Andrew Tate. This is better than all of them. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them have pros and cons. This is the best one. I've not seen anyone superior. And here's the thing. Here's my promise to you. And I've said this before. If I encounter someone who teaches a superior lifestyle model for men who are not wealthy in the 2020s, in the collapsing Western world in which we live, the real world, not a fantasy world of the 1950s, okay, the real world, I will switch to that model. I will say, guys, Alpha Male 2.0, sorry, doesn't work. I found a new model. It's Joe Blow's model. Let's go with him. And I haven't found it. This is it. I still haven't found anything superior. Okay? So I'm going to describe the Alpha Male 2.0 requirements internally as a man and the Alpha Male 2.0 requirements externally. So number one, they're not listed in a particular order. You are confident. Confidence means you have the ability, you believe in yourself to handle yourself in certain or all situations. You're confident in yourself. What's that mean? If you're walking around scared of the world, oh no, Azerbaijan is attacking Armenia. Oh no, Russell Brand got canceled, Caleb. Oh no, then you're not an Alpha Male 2.0. You are outcome dependent. It means you do not give a fuck. You don't care. If Joe Biden gets elected president, you don't fucking care. If Donald Trump gets elected president, you don't care. If a girl you're dating says, fuck you, you fucking asshole, you don't care. You don't say, hey, you need to respect me because Andrew Tate and Jordan Peterson said that. You don't care. You go, okay, whatever, bye. You go fuck her sister. You don't care. Specifically, do not care about the outcome of any one specific scenario. Yes, you can care about the macro things, your big long-term goals, you care about those things. But along the way, on any given date, any given event, you don't care. So you don't get mad, you don't get stressed, you don't get pissed off, you don't get into arguments because you don't care. It's wonderful. You cannot be long-term happy if you give a shit. And there's too many of you who give a shit about too much. Number three, my God, this rolls right on number two, emotional control. You don't fly off the handle and get pissed off at everything. You don't get scared all the time. You don't go, what if I make a mistake? What if I start a business and pick the wrong niche, Caleb? You don't get scared. You don't act like your mom is hovering over you at all times. You're a chill, emotionally controlled person. Now, that doesn't mean you're a Mr. Spock. Do I look or act like Mr. Spock? No. I have emotional control. I steer my emotions to positive emotions. I'm of the philosophical belief that once you are over the age of 25, there is no reason to experience any negative emotion ever again for the rest of your life. Under 25, you can make the argument that you need to learn what is fear, what is anger, what is loneliness, to understand what those things are, to avoid them. Yes, once you're over 25, I write about this in my books, there is no need to experience any negative emotion ever again for the rest of your life. And I mean that in the Western world, in the modern era. Not talking about the Old West or the Middle Ages. We don't live in those times anymore. Number four, you're objective and rational. You view the world as it is. A is A. Socrates said this. So if you got real excited because Donald Trump's going to get elected in 2016 and build a wall, you are not objective and you are not rational. If you were really terrified when Donald Trump got elected because, oh my God, he's Hitler and he's going to throw us all in jail because he's Hitler, you are not objective, you are not rational. Irrationality now rules the entire collapsing Western world. And this is why people in the Western world are so fucking miserable, because they're not rational. You have to stay rational, including when you're in love and want to marry somebody. You stay rational, objective and rational. That doesn't mean you can't feel positive feelings. I feel positive feelings every day, but I'm rational. I look at the world how it is, not how I want it to be, not how I was told it should be, or not how I feel it should be based on my religion or my philosophies or my political beliefs. Internal locus of control. That means that you believe that you are the catalyst for most of the shit in your life. So your weight is 100% your fault. Your income is 100% your fault. Your sexual scenario, if you're having sex, if you're not having sex, if you're in a monogamous relationship to a fat, ugly bitch who drives you crazy, these are all 100% your fault. It's not woman's fault. It's not left-wingers' fault. It's not woke people's fault. It's not Donald Trump's fault. It's not your boss's fault. It's not your roommate's fault. Not your ex-wife's fault. Not your ex-girlfriend's fault. Not the economy's fault. It's your fault. And that's good. That way you can change these things because it's your fault. Everything in my life is my fault. I've been saying this for over 10 years. And that's why I'm happy. Because whenever I see a condition I don't like, I can go fix it. If things were not my fault, you'd be fucked. I'd be fucked. That's not good. Now, let's talk about Alpha Male 2.0 in externally. The 2 requirements of the Alpha Male 2.0. If you do not have these 2 things, both of these things, you are not an Alpha Male 2.0. You can be an aspiring Alpha Male 2.0, but you need both these things. Number 1, you need to make at least $85,000 a year that is US dollar income. Yes, you could quibble that number a little lower if you live somewhere and you're going to live there the rest of your life. That is very cheap. If you're going to move to Chiang Mai, Thailand, or somewhere really cheap like that and live there for the rest of your life and never go back, then you could say you could make a little less. Yes. Okay. But $85,000 a year USD income from self-employed location dependent. Now, there's requirements to this. That is pre-tax net. Because people say, well, is that before or after taxes? That is before you pay taxes, but that is your net profit from your business. Make sense? This income must come from your own business. If you have a job, it does not count because if you have a job, you are not free. You only have a semblance of freedom if you have your own business, which means you control your work. If you have a job, I don't care if you like it. I don't care if it's remote. I don't care if it's hybrid. You are not free. You are a slave to your boss. And what if you get laid off and you're going to go beg for another job? That's not freedom. You need to be 100% location dependent. If your income requires you to stay in one individual city or region, you are not free. You are a slave to that region or city or country. That is the vast majority of you, unfortunately. Not a good idea, especially as the Western world is collapsing in front of you right before your very eyes. That's a now terrible idea. It is a terrible idea to be location dependent today. I mean, it's awful. I don't get why people still do it. Also, you can maintain that income, $85,000 a year or more. By the way, you can make a lot more. Those who say $85,000, that's all. You can make $1 million a year. I don't care. You can make more. It's fine. You can maintain that income, however, on 30 hours a week or less. Maintain it, not grow it. Maintain it. If you choose to work more than 30 hours a week, I certainly choose to because I like my work. I have big goals. Right? That's fine. But you don't have to. I don't have to work the hours I work. I don't have to. So if you have to work 50, 60 hours a week to maintain your income, you are not free even if you make $1 billion a year. You're not free. And I work with and have friends who make big money, some of them bigger than me, but they have to work 40, 50, 60, sometimes more hours per week to maintain that income. If they don't, they're fucked. They are not free. Alpha Male 2.0 is about freedom. So that's number 1. Number 2, equally as important, equally as critical, is that you are dating and or having sex. I should say, and having sex. How would you be dating someone without having sex? Unless you're a total beta, I guess. With multiple women. Now, when I say multiple, people go, I'm not going to date 12 girls. I don't have time for that. I said multiple. I didn't say many. Multiple means 2. 2. 2. Any guy watching this video can get 2 girls. 2 to see him on a regular basis. 2, not 47, not 12, not 3. 3 is better than 2. But if you're a beginner, 2 is fine. 2. So don't give me this bullshit. I don't want to date all these girls. Is 2 a lot of women? No. Now, I've never dated only 2. I'm always 3 or more, usually quite a bit past 3. But that's me. Do what you want to do. So multiple. Now, let me explain what the word multiple means because there's a confusion about this. It means not 0. If you are an incel, if you are a MGTOW, if you're some kind of pussy and you just don't have sex because I don't like women or I'm not going to play women's game or it's too expensive to date girls, all these bullshit excuses, you are not free because you're not sexually free. Doesn't mean to be married. That's also not free. Talk about that in a second. Okay. You're having sex on a semi-regular basis. So if you're not ever having sex, you are not an alpha male 2.0 because you're not long-term happy. Men are creatures, are sexual creatures. So are women. You will not be long-term happy if you're literally never getting laid. Whatever fucking excuse you use. Okay? Now, that also means you're not having sex with one, which means you are not monogamous. Okay? So if you're monogamous to a woman, I don't care if she's the most beautiful woman in the world. I don't care if she's the nicest, smartest, most wonderful woman on earth. When you want to have sex with her and she says no because she had a bad day at work or a bad day with her sister or whatever the fuck, guess what? You're fucked, and not in the good way. You now have to go jerk off the porn like a little bitch. When you are in a monogamous relationship, the woman you're dating or married to controls your sex life 100%. You don't control your sex life. She does. Okay? Hang on 1 second. That's why one doesn't work. So 0 women is bad, 1 woman is bad. 2 or more. 2 is all you need. Perfectly fine. This also means you have sex on a regular basis, consistent and recurring, no dry spells. I come out of the pickup artist world, and a recurring problem with pickup artists or player type guys is they constantly complain about this. They go through something I don't have and never have had since my alpha male 2.0 conversion 16 years ago, called dry spells. They go for months without having sex because they don't have girlfriends, because they're banging all these chicks, and then they get busy with work, or they move, or they get involved in some project, or they get lazy or complacent or whatever, and they wake up in the morning and it's been 4 or 5, 6, 7 months since they've had sex. They go, oh my God, this sucks. If you have recurrent dry spells, this doesn't work. The longest I have been without sex since my conversion to alpha male 2.0, 16 years ago, was 30 days. And that's only happened twice. In the last 16 years, only twice has gone that long. And one time was because I was traveling multiple countries very quickly for about a month. The other time was back in 2009. I still remember this. It was Portland, Oregon. There was a massive snowstorm that paralyzed the entire city. Everyone was like stuck in their homes for like a week and a half. And then it was Christmas, and then it was New Year's. And so it was about 30 days. That's it. That's how bad you have to get for me to not have sex. You have to paralyze my entire city for a month. Constant and recurring. That doesn't mean every day, doesn't mean every week, but on a regular basis. And lastly, that means all the women you are having sex with, all of them are either cute or hot to you. So there's a four-tier ranking system for this. Ugly, average, cute, hot. Every woman you have sex with should be at least cute to you. It's all subjective, as long as they're cute. If they are average or ugly, you are not going to be long-term happy because you're going to always want and think about hotter girls. If all the women in your life are attractive to you, that doesn't mean they have to be supermodels. That doesn't mean they have to be 19-year-old girls. That doesn't mean they have to be Instagram models. But they must be attractive to you, and then you're good. 2 women who are attractive to you, that means cute or hot. They don't even have to be hot, but they got to be cute. Can't be average to you, can't be ugly to you. Okay? Those are requirements. When you have all this in place, you are in the top, 1-2% of men anywhere in the world in terms of long-term happiness. Now, if you are over the age of 35, some of you are, some of you are not. There is a third requirement just for you old fuckers like me. Now, if you're young, under 35, 35 is where older man begins. You don't need to worry about this. You should worry about it, but you don't have to. It's not a requirement until you're 35. That means a physical health baseline. Why is that? Well, Caleb, it's important for younger men to be physically healthy too. I didn't say that it wasn't important. I said you can, under age 35, you can fuck with your body and still be a functional person. You can stay up all night and get drunk when you're 24 and then get up the next morning after a few hours of sleep, all hungover, and you can still be a functional person. Can you do that when you're 46? No, you cannot. So that's the difference. So a physical health baseline means you are in good physical health, not perfect physical health, but good physical health. Number one, you have a high amount of daily energy because that is the thing that drives every other aspect of your life. If you're lazy and shiftless and sleepy and tired all the time, you're not going to get any of this shit done and you will not be happy. And anti-aging, you look young for your age. You cannot age like shit like the typical man because the typical man who is monogamous thinks incorrectly statistically that he'll never have to worry about getting another woman again. I'm married now, I'm good, so now I can get fat and I can go bald and I can start dressing like a pussy and looking like a bum and look like shit and just age like a tub of shit. The alpha male 2.0 doesn't have that option because there will be, on a semi-regular basis, new women coming into your life. If you look like a tub of shit, that's going to be much more difficult unless you want to pay for hookers the rest of your life, and that won't make you happy either. Okay, so we have to look young and decent for our age. Doesn't mean you have to look young. If you're an alpha male 2.0 and you're 67 years old, it doesn't mean you have to look like you're 18, but you got to look like a young, vibrant, decent-looking 67-year-old. And there's a lot of guys I've met in the alpha 2.0 community who are well over, I'm 51, well past my age, and they look goddamn good. They look like older men, but they look like good older men. young, vibrant, good skin, all that stuff. Okay. Muscles, they're not fat. They don't have a big beer belly sticking out. They look good. They look decent. Okay. All right. There are 3 types of men. Those of you familiar with this concept already know this. I'm just going to go through this very quickly in case you are new to this concept. 3 types of men. Number 1 is the beta male. That is the most common type of man by far. That is the standard now. That is absolutely the de facto standard, especially in the collapsing West. That is the typical nice guy. Typical everyday guy. The beta male is defined by several traits. He is needy. He is scared. He's nervous. He doesn't want to take risks. He's moody. He gets mad on the internet all the time. He gets pissed off. He gets depressed. He gets sad all the time. He is extremely outcome dependent. He cares about everything. Anything anyone says to him, he gets mad or upset or sad. If he sees something on the internet that pisses him off, he gets all pissed off. Super outcome dependent. If you're a beta male, you're fucked. You're fucked. And by what's coming, you're going to really be fucked. You need to convert to alpha male 2.0 as quickly as possible. I used to be a beta male. I converted. So the beta male, fortunately, can convert to alpha 2.0 at any time. It takes some time and effort. Next, you have the alpha male 1.0. This is a smaller percentage of men. I would put it at well less than 20% of modern men, probably less than that. But that is the typical alpha male, the typical guy you view of as an alpha male. So Andrew Tate is a good example of this. The typical, what you would imagine, if you say alpha male, that guy. He's tough, which is good. He's masculine, which is good. He's confident. Great. He's successful. This is good. Being an alpha male 1.0 is good. This is a good thing to be. I would far rather be an alpha male 1.0 than be a beta male. You fucking kidding? No contest. Now, I still would hate to be an alpha male 1.0 because they have a problem. They are extremely outcome dependent. They care strongly about everything going on in their lives. The women they date, they want these women to do exactly what they're fucking told at all time. If they don't, of course they don't, because they're women and they're Western women, and there's arguments and problems and deception. These guys get furious. They get angry. They scream. They yell. If politics doesn't go the way they like, if the site doesn't go the way they like, if their friends don't go the way they like, family, these people have a lot of drama, a lot of conflict. They're mad often because they're alpha male 1.0s. They give a shit. Alpha male 2.0 doesn't give a shit. So because alpha male 1.0 it gives a shit, lots of frequent conflict, anger, and drama. It's just a regular staple in an alpha male 1.0's life. He's happy a lot and he's mad a lot. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's a lot of work to be an alpha male 1.0. That's why they're kind of tired. It's a lot of work. It's not a lot of work to be a beta. Betas are lazy, shiftless little pricks. Alpha male 1.0s, it's a lot of work. Ugh. Alpha male 2.0 is basically the alpha male 1.0 minus the outcome dependence. We're the alpha males that don't give a shit. Therefore, we're the happy alpha males. We're the free alpha males. So tough, masculine, confident, successful, same thing. But we don't care what anybody does. We don't give a shit. If we have a customer who pisses us off, we fire the customer and we move on. If we're dating a woman and she's a bitch, we say bye and we go fuck someone else who's younger than hotter than her. We don't care. If we have a family member give us a bunch of bullshit, we go, okay, we stop seeing that person. We block the number on their phone. Not a big deal. We don't care. So that way, the alpha male 2.0 has a consistent level of happiness, unlike the beta male, unlike the alpha male 1.0. It's awesome. All right. And they're completely free. The beta male is a slave. The alpha male 1.0 is much more free than the beta male, but he's not 100% free because he's tethered to his own outcome dependence. That keeps him a slave to himself, to his own feelings, to his own bullshit, and to what other people do. The alpha male 1.0 is reactive. The alpha male 2.0 doesn't give a fuck. All right. Now, most men have freedom only temporarily for a brief period of time, usually when they are very, very, very young, or in the case of women, right after a divorce. So they go through a brief time for a while where they don't have a girlfriend, they don't have a wife, they don't have kids, usually. They don't have a job in some cases when they're younger, okay? They don't have a typical business, a non-alpha 2.0 business. They don't have debt or a lot of debt. But as soon as they get any one of these things, their freedom is now gone. As soon as they get a girlfriend, can you do whatever you want if you have a girlfriend, a traditional monogamous girlfriend? Can you do whatever you want? No, you can't. You big baby, you big puss, you're a slave. I can do whatever I want. I have a wife, but it's an alpha 2.0 marriage, not a typical monogamous marriage. So I can do whatever the fuck I want, including fuck other women I do every week. Okay? Wife, kids, job. Okay. If you have a job, you're not free. All those things. Typical business. As soon as you get any one of those things, you are no longer free. So men live in a constant state of non-freedom. Sucks. All right. So let me give you the phases of breaking out of this. We're going to get to some more specifics on how this is different. All this is now easier than it was. First thing is you have to remove the two enemies, societal programming and biological wiring. Societal programming is what you have been trained to believe your entire life that everyone thinks is true, but is factually wrong. I've been told my entire life that Democrats are against war. Is that true? No. But I've been told that. I'm 51. I've been told that my whole life. Oh, Democrats are for peace. Left-wingers are for peace. You see what happened? They tried to get out of Afghanistan with what the left-wingers said? I've also been told that right-wingers are for small government. Yeah, right. You see how much money Donald Trump spent when he was president? You see how much money George W. Bush spent when he was president? And both times, both these men were celebrated by their right-wing supporters. So I could list 10,000 things over the next several hours of all the things you've been told your whole life that sound right because you've been trained these things, but are completely factually wrong. Monogamy, long-term monogamy works as long as you find the right girl. As long as she's 18 and a Christian, then you'll never get divorced. On and on and on and on. It's horrible. Then you have something else that is just as bad, obsolete biological wiring. These are biological urges wired into your nervous system from when you were a caveman 150,000 years ago. We have not evolved physically in terms of our brain structures and our bodies much over the past several 100,000 years. Not several 100,000, several tens of thousands of years. You pretty much have the same body and brain as Grog the caveman 100,000 years ago. When you were in a tribe of people who was like 20 people, it was like 25 people in your tribe. There were maybe 2 or 3 girls who were of reproductive age, and all the alpha males fucked the girls. And so you got really jealous. So today you get really jealous, even though there's more women in the world now than men, and they'll fuck you without doing anything. You have to pay them any money, you have to marry them, but you still have these jealousy feelings as if it's 100,000 years ago because your stupid biology is outdated by hundreds of thousands of years. You realize this. That's where things like jealousy comes from, tribalism. These are all irrelevant things today. They were relevant a long time ago. Very relevant. It's fear. Most fear you feel is fear of the saber-toothed tiger is going to come eat you while you eat your meat in your cave. Is that a problem now? No, but that's why you're scared of like making cold calls. That's how this works, because obviously biological wiring. Right? Okay, so is this so this is what you have to do. You have to remove these two things from your brain as best as you can. I did this years ago. I cleansed out all the false societal programming I had been told by both the right-wing Christian stuff and the left-wing socialist bullshit woke stuff, both of which are completely psychotic and wrong and irrational. I had to clean that out. I had to recognize what I was told was not true. Then if you're a beta male, not an alpha 1.0, but if you're a beta male, you got to develop confidence. You have to start believing in yourself. Yes, you can handle it. Yes, it'll be okay. Yes, if you screw up, it'll be all right. Take a deep breath. You're not a 5-year-old in kindergarten anymore. It's okay. Then if you're an alpha male 1.0 or a beta male, this is for alpha male 1.0s, but this is for beta males too. You have to develop outcome independence. One of you asked a question about that early on in this live stream. How do I develop outcome independence? You ask yourself, why do I care? Why does this make me so mad? And your brain will answer, because of this. Then you say, okay, why do I care about that? Well, because of this. Okay, why do I care about that? You keep asking yourself why I care, and eventually you'll get to the point where you go, well, I guess I don't care. That's stupid to care about that. Why do I care about that? The reason you care is false societal programming or obsolete biological wiring. That's why you care, both of which are bullshit. Rarely there is rare scenarios where what makes you mad is actually something that is important enough for you to get mad about. Mad or worried or scared or concerned, any negative emotion. Why do I care? There it is. Then you got to ask yourself what you want. Not what does your mom want? All you guys from India, and you're like 36 years old, and you were born and raised in India or Asia, and you're like, I need to have kids, Caleb. Why? Well, my mom was bugging me about, how old are you? Well, 37. You're a 37-year-old grown man, and you're doing what your mom wants, or your dad wants, or your buddies on Instagram want. I need to buy a cool car so girls will like me. What do you want? This is hard. Not what you were told by society to want. Your mom has told you what you're supposed to want. Your dad's told you what you're supposed to want. The fucking internet has told you what you're supposed to want. What do you want? Maybe you don't want any of this stuff. Maybe you want something completely different. I learned this the hard way. In my 20s, I thought I wanted, this is what I thought I wanted: 2 kids, 1 girl, 1 boy, a cute blonde, traditional monogamous wife, a big fancy house, a really cool sports car, and a location-dependent business with a building with my name on it. I'm like, yes, I wanted these things so bad in my 20s. Because you know why? I was told to want those things. And by the time I was about 28, I had all those things. Literally all of them. All of them. 28, 29. And I'm like, well, this sucks. This doesn't make me happy at all. None of this makes me happy. So I had to sit down and think about what I wanted. And I was shocked to find out in my early 30s when I made this conversion, I didn't want any of this crap, or very little of it. All the things that I really wanted, when I removed my societal programming and removed my obviously biological and got to the real Caleb, and to figure out what the real Caleb wanted, it was completely different than anything I'd ever imagined. And it was totally weird shit. I'm like, I don't want 1 woman. I want at least 3. Why would I have 1? This is fucking stupid. Why the fuck would I want this? I don't want to have a business with a building and a bunch of offices and employees. Fuck, I want my own business, but I don't want that bullshit. I want to go wherever I want, not worry about it. I just want a laptop and live my life. All these things, okay? Then you go to phase 2, personal strategic planning. You have to develop a vision. A vision is, Arnold Schwarzenegger talks about this, but I've been talking about this for a long time before he was talking about that, is a 1 or 2 page document, and it lists out, it's either a list or paragraphs of if your life was perfect in all areas of your life, your health, your finances, how much money you make, your business, your woman life, everything, your kids or not, your spiritual life, everything. What would it look like if it was perfect? And it's specific. Not I make a lot of money. How much money exactly do you make? How do you make it? How many hours a week do you work? What do you work on? What's your woman life look like? Are you married? Are you completely single with FBEs? Do you have multiple? Are you dating multiple women? Do you have an OLTR marriage like I have, where you have 1 special woman and then women on the side? What is it? What is it? How many kids do you have? Do you have any kids? That whole thing, that's a vision. Then you develop a mission if you are over the age of 30. It's one of the changes I've made in the last few years of my content. If you're under the age of 30, you can skip this step. It's too hard. If you're 30 or over, you got to figure this out. It's hard. Why do you live? Why do you work? What is the meaning behind your work? Your mission. It cannot be something you can achieve because that's last you 25 years or more. If I gave you $1 billion tax-free, you would still be working on your mission, whatever that is. It could be a physical mission. It could be a spiritual mission. It could be a business mission. It could be a woman mission. It could be a travel mission. It could be a combination of those things. Totally customized to you. And again, what do you want? Not what your mom and dad want. Not what your goddamn, your culture wants, your religion. No. What do you want? Be selfish. Then you set up goals based on these 2 things, your vision, your mission, that are non-SP, non-societal programming goals. I want a girl someday to get married so my mom will be impressed and it'll be a traditional Christian marriage. That's a societal programming goal. What do you want? Deep down, you don't want that. You want something that looks a little different, don't you? Okay. Then you plan out your week. I just did a video for people in our Founders Sanctum program where I just did a screen recording of all the stuff I did to plan out my week today, right now. You plan your week. Every week you plan your week, or E3D every 3 days. You do all these things. Okay. Then you optimize the day. You have habits and systems in place to maximize every given day, including if you take a day off. You want to maximize your day off too. So you go from the macro down to the micro, weekly down to the day. And I'm summarizing this. You have quarterly objectives, things like that. I don't want to get too granular. Then you take action. I have a term called LISG, L-I-S-G. That means low income smart guy. These are intelligent guys, high IQs, usually very educated, who will never make more than 30, 40, maybe $50,000 a year in their entire lives because they don't do number 6 here. They don't take action. They think and they plan and they strategize and they worry and they go online and they watch YouTube videos and they read blog posts, they listen to podcasts, they read a lot of books, they read a lot of articles. They don't do shit. And they never accomplish a goddamn thing. There's a lot of you listening to me right now. The way to cure that is action. Take action. But Caleb, how do you get motivated to take action? You develop pain of your current condition. I went from no money to big money early in life because I was in pain. I hated being poor. A lot of people these days don't seem to mind. They don't like it, but they just tolerate it. I hated being poor. Oh, I hated every minute of it. I still remember this. It was, 30 years ago. I couldn't afford to put gas in my car. I couldn't afford to pay my electric. I hated it. Oh my God. I said, fuck, I can't live like this. Give me some fucking money. I'll do whatever I need to do. I went from a divorced beta male dad, 10 years out of dating experiences right out of my divorce, to a guru level pickup artist dating coach within 2 years, dating multiple attractive women across the board within 2 years. Why? Because I hated not getting laid, and I hated not getting laid with women who were super, super hot. Super, super, super hot. Because anyone can have sex with average girls. That's not going to make me happy. I need hot girls. I got to figure out how to have sex with hot girls. So I was in pain. I got out. That's why I built my own pain. I still do this today. I still think about what if I'm 70 years old and have no money? Because I know a lot of people in that category. Old people have no money. Ooh. That's you do it. Phase 3, you enact the 4 freedoms. Here are the 4 freedoms. Number 1, freedom of action. You're able to wake up and do whatever you want, whenever you want, with whomever you want, as long as they're consenting, without having to check in with anyone. You married guys and guys with girlfriends and guys with jobs, without having to check in or get permission from anybody. I can wake up every morning and do literally what the fuck I want. I can work. I could go see a movie. I could go have sex with one of several different people, and I'm married. And I have a business, but I have freedom of action. I can do whatever I want. I can go anywhere I want. I have unlimited mobility through my 5 flags lifestyle and my income. That's freedom of action, which you don't have if you have a job or you're monogamous. Can you do whatever you want if you're married traditionally or a monogamous girlfriend? No, you can't. You're a slave. Financial freedom. This does not mean financial independence, although that is a subcategory. Financial independence means you have enough money in your passive investments, truly passive, not passive business, but passive investments to pay your bills so you never need to work. That's financial independence. Financial freedom is slightly different. That means you have the ability to buy anything you strongly want. Strongly want. Anything you want. Strongly want. I have the ability today, and I've been like this for 10 plus years, to buy anything I strongly want. I have everything I want. The few things that I can't afford are things I don't really want. Like I can't buy my own island, but I don't want my own island. That sounds like a lot of work. So I don't care. Right? So that's what financial, if you want something desperately, badly, but you can't afford it because you have no money, you are not financially free. Sexual freedom, the ability to have mutually consensual sex. I got to say mutually consensual with consenting adults. Okay. She's mutually consenting and she's an adult. You always got to throw that in there because we live in a woke world. With any woman you want, whenever the fuck you want, without having to check in or get permission from anybody. You married guys with girlfriends. Okay. I can have sex with any woman I want, mutually consenting adults, anytime I want, whenever the fuck I feel like it. And if you're not having sex, like I talked about earlier, or you're in a monogamous relationship, you are not sexually free. Not good. Social freedom means that you have the ability to go do whatever you want with your life, and you don't care what other people say about what you're going to do. So if you say, well, I can't do that, my mom might not like that. You are not socially free. I can't do that because people on the internet might make fun of me. You are not socially free. I'm socially free. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I don't care what you think. I would walk around during the day naked if it was legal. Now I'd be arrested, so I can't do that. But I would. I don't care what people think. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. That'd be so nice. I've done it when I go out in the forest by myself when I go camping. Just walk around naked in the forest. It's great. With shoes on. Don't hurt your feet. That's what I mean by social freedom. I can do whatever I want, and I don't care what my mom thinks. I don't care what my dad thinks. I don't care what my wife thinks. I want her to be happy. I don't care what she thinks. I do all kinds of weird shit. She's like, why are you doing that? I don't care what she thinks. It's my life, not hers. I love her, but it's my life. That's social freedom. All right. So really quick here. These are the 3 components. So the one on the bottom of the screen only applies if you are age 35 or over. But financial is income, location dependence, time freedom. So you don't work long hours. You do whatever you want during the day. And then freedom from debt. I didn't mention that earlier. So if you have debt, you are not free. A lot of debt. You have a little bit of debt. And debt is okay if it generates income. So if it's debt on rental real estate that cash flows every month, that's okay. If it's business debt that generates money, that's okay. But if it's credit card debt, fucking student loans, car loan, you're an idiot. Or you're not free. Or both. Women. There's several components to your woman life. Number 1, you need pickup skills or dating skills if you don't like the word pickup, if that's offensive to you. You need the ability to have the skill set. It's a set of techniques to bring new women into your dating life whenever you need them. If you don't know how to go out to the real world and get a woman to have sex with you without paying her money, you got a serious problem and you need to fix that ASAP. And a lot of you are lacking that skill set. And it's a skill set that you can learn. I learned it. I didn't know shit. When I was 35, I didn't know shit on how to get laid. I didn't know anything. I just got out of a 10-year marriage. I wasn't super sexually experienced before the marriage. I didn't know anything, man. I didn't know shit. And within 2 years, I was dating multiple hot chicks in their early 20s. Some of them younger than that, 18, 19 years old, without paying a single penny to any of these women. Okay? Because I mastered the skill set. It's just a skill you learn. Then you need relationship management. You want to date these multiple women all at the same time without them bitching and moaning about it, without them giving you drama, without them giving you demands. If you have that, you need to soft next and find other women. You need to configure relationships so you don't have that. Okay? So it's not just getting new. So the pickup artist has pickup skills, but no relationship management. You've seen this. If you guys have paid attention to these guys over the past 10, 15 years, you've seen a lot of player type pickup artisty type guys. They get laid a lot, then they get into a serious relationship, and it's a clusterfuck. Neil Strauss, it's a clusterfuck from hell. I don't want to pick on him. There's a lot of guys. And it's a nightmare. They do everything wrong because they have no relationship management skills. You have some beta males who have decent relationship management skills, but the split second their wife divorces them or their girlfriend breaks up them, what they are statistically likely to do because that's how women are hardwired, then they're screwed. They don't know what to do because they have no pickup skills. Okay. Then, of course, you have sexual freedom and sexual variety. That means that not only can you have sex whenever you want, with anyone you want, mutually consenting adults, there's a variety. They don't look all the same. Okay? So you can have, here's the thing. Sexual variety means that whatever you start having sex with, that type of woman, you're eventually, as a man, going to want something else. So I don't care how beautiful you think she is. You're going to want something else. So if she's a hot blonde chick, and you have a lot of hot blonde girls, you're going to want to play with Asian girls. If all you have sex with are Asian girls, you're going to want like some spicy Latina girl or something. You're going to want something different. That's how men are wired. Okay? Not radically different. I'll give you radical examples, but you get my point. If your wife has a small ass, you're going to eventually want a woman with a big ass. Okay? If your wife has a flat chest, you're going to eventually want a woman with big titties. Just how this works. My favorite example of this is Hugh Grant. Back in the 90s, those of you who are my age or around my age group or older, you remember what happened to Hugh Grant. Quick story if you don't know who this is. Hugh Grant is a famous British actor. He was much more famous in the 90s than he was today. He had a fall from grace. What happened? Hugh Grant was married to Elizabeth Hurley, who is probably by many people's estimates the most beautiful woman of the 90s. This gorgeous model actress. She was beautiful. Married to this woman. He was fucking her every night. He was caught in the car by the police having sex with a fat black prostitute. Fat, ugly black prostitute. And his mugshot were on the news for months. It was hilarious. And everyone was like, why would Hugh Grant possibly want to have sex with a fat, ugly black girl when he's married to the most beautiful woman on earth? Because he's a man. Variety. He wanted something different. That's how you're wired. Now, hopefully you don't cheat because that's stupid, that's lying, and you don't have to pay a hooker to do it. That's beta. Okay? Then physical, we've talked about this, overall health, average energy level, and appearance rate. We talked about it already. Requirements. Okay? You can't age like shit. You can't be tired all the time. You can't be depressed all the time. Not going to work. All right, Alpha 2.0 business. I am just going to skim this really fast because I cover this a lot over in Sovereign CEO, and a lot of you have already seen that material. So I'm just going to do one slide on this because I'm going to focus more on women stuff because that I've talked plenty about the Alpha 2.0 business model. 100% location dependent, like I said. If you have to be in a specific location to earn the money from your customers or clients, you are not free. You need to make at least $7,000 a month. That is $85,000 a year. That is profit, pre-tax, net profit. And that's 30 hours a week to maintain and no employees. I have about 22 people in my company, my biggest company. I have several. I have no employees, and I never will. I don't want employees. Too much work. Overhead. My entire business empire, it is a 7-figure business empire, multiple businesses, 16 income streams, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Scores of people involved, blah, 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 is right here in front of me. It's this laptop and 2 phones. I used to have a webcam, but now this iPhone is my webcam. So I've even simplified my inventory. I have no inventory. I don't have offices. I don't have employees. I don't have office furniture. I'm in that bullshit. I'm free. All right. All right. Now, this could be an entire webinar in and of itself. I'm just going to buzz through this really quickly. Looks a little complicated. I'm just going to summarize this stuff. This is how you develop your relationships with multiple women, dating multiple and or having sex with multiple women for the rest of your life. You can have FBs, which are women you're just hooking up with, just friends you have sex with. That means friends with benefits or fuck buddy. You could have MLTRs, those women you are dating and you really like, but you're non-monogamous and you're non-exclusive. So you can date multiple women. You can date and have feelings for multiple. You have 2 MLTRs, 3 MLTRs. You have 2 MLTRs, 3 FBs. You have 1 MLTR, 1 FB. Fine, whatever you want. Okay. Then you have OLTR, which is your girlfriend, which means you are emotionally exclusive. You can't date other women, but you can have sex with other women. So you can have an OLTR and you can have FBs on the side. That's okay. You can't have an OLTR and MLTRs because you like them. You can't have that. It's sexually exclusive. Now, if you're like, why would I ever do that? Then don't get an OLTR. Stick with MLTRs the rest of your life. Many of you just needed to have MLTRs the rest of your life. If you have an OLTR you move in with, that is your OLTR wife. You are now married to her, not legally, but you're living the lifestyle of a married man who lives with a woman. I have an OLTR wife and I have FBs in many countries. Okay. So really quick, here are the phases of this structure. I'm just going to go through this very quickly. Maybe I'll do a full webinar on this later if you guys want me to do this. Lock-in is when you have sex with a new woman twice, not in the same night, 2 different nights. Once you achieve lock-in, women now view it as, quote, normal to be having sex with you. So ASD and all this resistance to sex goes away once you have sex with a new woman twice. So at that point, you kind of let down your guard. You don't have to do game anymore. She likes you. You're good. You're in. And then you're in the EFA phase, which lasts about 2 weeks. And during that time, you're not going to discuss the relationship, but you're going to act like a guy who is dating other women because you are. You're not going to talk about it. And at that point, you need to make a decision. Is she an FB or an MLTR? You have to pick one. She cannot be an OLTR. That takes a long time to qualify for. So she's an FB or MLTR. If she's an FB, you go to phase 2, which is the implicit phase. Lasts about 3 to 5 months. And that is where you're going to see her, but you're not going to discuss the relationship. If she asks, so what am I to you? So what is this to you? So where is this going? You blow it off and you don't answer it. You'll say, fuck you, bitch. You don't be mean to her. You say this is too soon, or you can make a sarcastic comment, change the subject. Okay. Will that work forever? No, 3 to 5 months. At that point, you go to smooth sailing where she accepts that she's an FB. She gets the point either through a discussion or she just understands. Women are very intuitive about this stuff, that she becomes an FB. And then she has a listen fitty where she leaves you and then comes back. I'll show you that in the next slide. Okay. Now, let's say she's an MLTR. This is a woman you're dating. You're going on dates. You're spending the night. You really like her. But you can have several women like this if you want. You can have more than one because you're not exclusive. You have the same thing, the implicit phase, same exact deal. But then you have, after 3 to 5 months or longer, the talk. And that is where you verbalize that you're going to be non-monogamous for the rest of your life. That's just how you are. And if that's a deal breaker for her, you understand and you'll let her go, even though it's going to be an awful thing for you. That's basically the talk in a nutshell. That does not work if you do not do phase 2 correctly. If you fuck up phase 2 and you do the talk, it won't work. She'll say, fuck you, and you'll never see her again. If you do phase 2 correctly, using the things called the cardinal rules, which are outside the scope of this particular training, I've talked about this a lot. Phase 3 is a cakewalk. She's like, well, this sucks. Then she'll leave. She'll call her mom or her sister or her best girlfriend, and she'll say, he wants to fuck with the girls. And she'll say, well, is he cheating on you? No. Well, has he lied to you? No. Well, is the sex bad? No, the sex is great. Well, is he an asshole? No, he's a great guy. He's like, well, it sounds pretty good. I mean, at least he's being honest. And then she comes back and goes, okay, fine. Okay. Then you have phase 4 after the talk. That's called the Queen of the Hill phase. When she's an MLTR, she will understand you'll be dating other women, but she'll want to be the queen. She'll want to be the number one girl. See, what she thinks or what she'll act like is that you're dating her, but all the other girls you're seeing are sluts and whores, and they're stupid, and they're young, and they're retarded, and they're bitches. She's the good girl that you're dating, and she wants to be your favorite, and that's just something you have to manage. Now, if she is your favorite, great. A lot easier. If she's not your favorite, something you have to manage. Okay? And then, will this last forever? No. She will eventually leave you for a beta male because she likes monogamy, at least temporarily, and she has been missing monogamy while she's with you, so she'll dump you, go date a beta male, or in some cases, marry a beta male, but because long-term monogamy doesn't work, she will eventually get very bored with him or pissed off with him or irritated with him if he's an alpha male 1.0, and she will dump him and come back to you. I have a 94% return rate. I will show you in the next slide. At some point during the phase 4, if you really do like her and she's amazing and she goes through several months of being amazing with you, you can upgrade her from MLTR to OLTR and she becomes your girlfriend. And that is the OLTR talk. And then as a talk you have there, not the talk, there's the talk and the OLTR talk, different talks. And the talk is where you describe to her all the negatives of her being with you long term. I did this with my wife, Pink Firefly. I said, Pink Firefly, here's the OLTR talk, Pink Firefly. And I listed 5 things. I'm moving out of the United States. It's back when I lived. I'm getting the fuck out of the United States. Fuck the United States. I'm leaving with or without you. And if you don't like it, you're staying here. If you don't like the country I moved to, that's your fucking problem. I'm leaving. So that's a problem. That's a negative of being with me long term. I'm going to be seeing other women, FBs, but I will be having sex with women for the rest of my life into my 70s. And you say that because sometimes women say, well, I can change him. He'll love me and then he'll stop. Oh, no. Rest of my life. And I listed 3 or 4 other things that were all negatives. If she survives the OLTR talk, she is now your OLTR, and now you can either date her as a serious girlfriend or make plans to move in with her, get married, have kids, whatever you want to do. Okay? And then phase 6 is OLTR management, which lasts the rest of the relationship. And the good thing about OLTRs is they don't do listen videos. MLTRs and FPs do, OLTRs generally don't. Okay. Really quick. When women leave, so first you have pickup and dating, and then you go into your active women. These are women you're actively seeing, FBs, MLTRs, or maybe an OLTR. Okay? These are the women you're actively having sex with right now. Eventually, the FBs and MLTRs will do something called a listen video. That means long, soft necks for temporary exclusivity. That is where they will leave you temporarily to experience the ass kissing of a beta male that they weren't experiencing under you. So after seeing you for several years and you're banging the shit out of her, but you're banging other girls and you're attractive and she loves you, but you're not committing, that dorky beta male Poindexter who's been orbiting around her starting to look pretty damn good. He says, well, if you dated me, I mean, I would be serious with you. And I would not fuck other girls like that asshole Caleb. And I would treat you like a queen. I would take you out and buy you fancy dinners. I'd get a limousine for you and give you flowers on Thanksgiving and Valentine's Day, and I'd introduce you to my parents, and we could get married, and I could have kids with you, and I'll give you all my money from my salary at Intel, and it'll be awesome. And she goes, boy, that sounds pretty fucking good after dating this Alpha Male 2.0. And she does that. And then for about 3, 4, 5, 6 months, she loves the attention. She loves it. It's great. And then she's like, oh, fuck this guy. I'm so bored. Oh, my God, he sucks. He's like, I love you. You're so perfect. I love you. Why don't you call me every day? And she's like, oh, fuck this. And she leaves him, and then she goes back and fucks you. I have a 94% return rate for the past 16 years for women who have done this to me. 94% of every woman I've had sex with twice, that is a very, very, very large list of women, have eventually come back to me after hooking up with a beta male or marrying a beta male or whatever the hell. Okay? So when they leave, that becomes the roster, a list of women that you could conceivably bring back. Okay? And then you have soft necks and hard necks. Discuss that some other time. All right. Now, this is probably my favorite slide in today's presentation. This is the good stuff. Hang on a second. I have one more thing after this, and we'll do Q&A. Cool? How are we doing on time here? Wow, I've been talking a long time. Caleb, my goodness. Why Alpha Male 2.0 has become easier over the past 15 years. As I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation, this shit used to be hard. This shit used to be a lot of work. You could do it. I did it. Some of you did it 15 years ago. There's a few of you who've been around a long time. But my God, it was hard work. You had to really bust. You had to do everything perfectly. Today, is it difficult to be Alpha 2.0 today? No. It's gotten far, far easier. Now, here's the sad part about this. As the Western world continues to collapse, and the collapse is now accelerating, certainly last since about 2018, my God, the pandemic accelerated this. This year, it has really accelerated. Ugh, it's gotten really bad. The problem is that as society gets worse, the trends that most people, like in the red pill world, the Republican world, the right-wing world, try to bitch and moan about and are furious about and are pissed off about all the time, and sometimes I agree with them that they're not good for society, but they're really good for us. They're fantastic for the Alpha Male 2.0. Many times I see people complaining about this is now happening and this is not happening. Used to be like this and now it's not this. I'm like, yeah, it sucks for you. It sucks for normal people. Yeah. Alpha Male 2.0, this is great news. And I say it quietly, this is great fucking news. Cool. I'm glad. For me, it's terrible for the United States. The United States is fucked. Canada, UK, Australia. Oh, awful for the normal people in normal society. Normal people in normal society, beta males, alpha male 1.0s, fucks, they're fucked. But for us, this is good news. While infuriating the betas and alpha male 1.0s. How happy does Andrew Tate look lately? How happy does Ben Shapiro look lately? How happy has Jordan Peterson been on Twitter lately? Yeah, it sucks for them. So here's a few items. In the last 15 years, when I started doing this, so I actually started doing this 16 years ago, 2007. So I've done this for a while. Number one, and this is no particular order. These are all good. Location-independent income has become easier and more accepted in the last 15 years. Absolutely. Two big reasons for this. One is the internet and e-commerce. It's a lot easier now to make money on the internet, have an internet-based business now than it was many, many, many years ago. I mean, it's crazy easy now. It's stupid easy now to make money on the internet. 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you had to be kind of smart, right? In the early 2000s, you had to understand all this detailed shit about, Google AdWords and, all that crap. And it was like very technical and not anymore. Also the pandemic. Now the pandemic took 10 years off the life of the United States. Pandemic was, let me be specific with the pandemic. That's the nice way of saying it. The pandemic, can't talk. Hey, let me drink. I'm getting too animated. Hang on one second. Caleb, take a deep breath, relax. Okay. I get excited when I talk about stuff. The pandemic, or more accurately, the worldwide overreaction to a flu with a less than 1% death rate was very bad for the entire Western world. The United States alone spent $16 trillion of your money and got nothing for it. By the way, this happened under Trump. So it's a bad news for, again, society, but it's great news for us, location-dependent people. There are things now you can do in the business world that you could not do remotely before the pandemic. There are so many things now you can do with banks, insurance companies, legal procedures, governmental procedures that you needed to do in business that you don't have to go anywhere. But pre-pandemic, if this was 2019, I live in Dubai. I would have to fly back to the United States several times a year just to do certain things and fill out paperwork. I don't have to now, thanks to the pandemic. Thanks, pandemic. Number two, more worldwide buyers. This is huge. How do I explain this? There is a concept in macroeconomics called the bottom billion. This is the bottom billion people on the earth of the 7 billion people. The people with the lowest economic scale around the world, the bottom billion. The bottom billion is rising very fast and has been in the past 50 years. And this has just been explosive growth with the bottom billion. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, God, maybe 7, 8 years ago, even when you had an online business, the vast 99% of your customers were from the collapsing West. United States, Canada, UK, Australia, New Zealand, right? It was not, and every once in a while you get one customer from like first world Asia, like Singapore or something. You're like, wow, he's from Singapore. And it was like a weird thing. Today, we're experiencing this in our programs. I talk to a lot of people at my level. So content creators who are making the money that I'm making, and they're experiencing all the same thing. People are getting people from the Middle East. They're getting Arabs from the Middle East. They're getting people from Bolivia. They're getting Asian people who live in Vietnam. They're getting people from all over the world, from the bottom billion who are rising. And these people want to buy your stuff badly. And they are more motivated than Westerners. While Westerners are bitching and moaning on the internet about how stupid Star Wars is and how Russell Brand is getting canceled, these people in the bottom billion are working hard to better their lives, and they need your help. And there are many of you in my audience who are going to become multi-millionaires by servicing people who from countries you know nothing about over the next 5 to 10 years or now. We're seeing this now in our programs. It's amazing. This is huge, guys. There's so much money to be made from the Middle East, South America, Southeast Asia, parts of Africa. Whereas before 10 years ago, these people were just not even on the map in terms of, e-commerce, the actual small business world, for lack of a better term. This is huge. This makes Alpha 2.0 income so much easier now. Oh, when I go around the world and I do seminars or events or masterminds, in non-Western countries, these people are hungry. These people are motivated. When I do it in the Western world, some people are hungry, but most of them aren't. Most are like, this was a really cool event. And then they go home and watch Netflix. Whereas, South America, Middle East, Asia, places like that, they want what they want bad. And they're willing to work to get it and pay you to get it. Okay? Huge difference. The sea change last 10, 15 years. Let's talk about women stuff. This is huge. Non-monogamy is now far more accepted by women. So way back in 2007, when I started on this journey, you had to really convince women to do this. You had to really convince, I'm going to have sex with you, and I'm also going to have sex with other women while having sex with you. In 2007, that was like, what? And you had to convince women. And they would say things like, well, monogamy works fine. All you do is find the right guy. I was told that over and over again in 2007, 2008, 2009. Do women say that today? No, they don't. They bitch about men. Men are pussies. They're needy. They text me all the time. They cry, beta males, or they're assholes. They're players. They cheat on me. All they want to do is fuck me. Alpha Male 1.0's women constantly bitch and moan about men. So when you offer them these options, they go, all right. Or you say one of my favorite things I like to tell women. I said this even to my woman who became my wife, Pink Firefly. If they even start hinting that they don't want to do non-monogamy, you say, look, every boyfriend you've ever had in your life has cheated on you, right? And they go, what? Oh, shit. Bam. That's it. Non-monogamy is now easy. Matter of fact, Gen Z girls, it is almost becoming the norm. A lot of Gen Z girls and younger millennial women will just tell their boyfriends flat out, look, I'm going to fuck other guys. Fuck you. You don't like it, get out. And they're beta males. They go, but they put up with it. That wasn't happening 15 years ago. Are you fucking kidding? No. Non-monogamy is so much. And as I predicted all this, by the way. I said 10 years ago, it's going to be a lot easier as the Western world continues to collapse and gets more left-wing. Is non-monogamy more of a left-wing thing or a right-wing thing? It's a left-wing thing, isn't it? Right? So as it gets more left, people are going to be more cool with this, which is bad for society. I'm not a left-winger. I'm a minarchist libertarian. I'm the opposite of left-winger. But in terms of non-monogamy, again, what's bad for society is often good for us. Alpha Male 2.0s exploit and live a good life. Not only accepted by women, but accepted by their friends and family. I mean, women now, I've seen women now, their moms will encourage their daughters to go on OnlyFans or encourage their daughters to go to an older sugar daddy. They'll tell their moms, they'll tell their friends, like, oh yeah, I'm on secret arrangement too. I fucked this guy who was 47 the other day. He gave me $600. It was great. Did that happen back in 2010? No. I dated a lot of younger girls back in 2010. A lot. 2009, 2008, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. When I was in my late 30s, early 40s, these women had to hide it from everybody, even their best friends, because if word got out that they were fucking a guy in his 30s or 40s, they're like, oh, gross. Now it's like, cool. Number 4, I mentioned this on some of my sugar daddy stuff. High-end women are now more accessible. Because men have gotten so bad, everything I just talked about, super good-looking women, 9s and 10s and upper-level 10s, Instagram models, celebrities, are now accessible to, I don't want to say normal guys, but to experienced Alpha Male 2.0s. They were not accessible before. The things I've been able to pull off in my woman life in the past 4 years, things that have shocked me in terms of the caliber of women and the ease it took for me to get there would never have happened 15 years ago. Not even fucking close. It either would not have happened for me or I would have to work 10 times harder and spend 10 times more time or effort. Awesome. And this is going to get even easier. It's gotten easier like in the last 2-3 years. This is going to keep getting easier and easier and easier and easier. Younger women, much more open to dating older men. I've already talked about this. Young men are so bad now. They are so beta. They are so low testosterone. They are so feminine. They are so pussified that young women are now just turned off by men their age. Women in their late teens, early 20s, mid-20s. They look at the men their age and go, ugh, fuck this. Give me a guy who's over 35, please. It was not like this 15 years ago. These were the isolated weirdos. Today, it's almost becoming the norm. So you older guys, it used to be that if you were a younger guy, you had a narrow window of women who were your age. If you were an older guy, you had a narrow window of women your age. Now, both younger and older, it's all the entire age range. It's women your age, women who are older than you, women who are way younger than you, as long as they're consenting and legal adults. Okay? Huge difference. Again, I dated younger women years ago. Non-sugar daddy game, normal dating. And it was hard work. I did it. I was able to pull it off. I've written books on how to do it. Okay. I built a business around it, but I had to work really hard. Today, it's not hard. And then last but not least, because today's men suck so much, you have less competition in the marketplace, both the sexual marketplace and the business marketplace. It has never been easier to be successful with women. It has never been easier to be successful in the business world when you are an alpha male 2.0. When you're a beta male looking on Instagram, like, oh, the chads are taking all the girls, yeah, you're fucked. But if you actually do what we're talking about, it's easier. Alpha male 2.0 across the board, financially and sexually, is easier now than it has ever been before in all of human history. This is our time. One of my first YouTube videos I did 3-4 years ago was just me saying, you guys, this is our time. If you're a beta male, you're going to get crushed. You already are crushed. If you're an alpha male 1.0, you're going to be furious for the rest of your life. Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, all you and people like him, you're going to be mad the rest of your life. Trump supporters, you're just going to be angry and furious the rest of your life as the left continues to solidify their control over the world. And as the Western world continues to collapse right in front of your eyes, and you think voting for Trump again will somehow fix this. But if you're alpha male 2.0, you live a good life. Okay. All right, before we get to Q&A, really quick. The Unchained Man Society used to be called SMIC. Used to be called our SMIC program. This is our core program in Alpha Male 2.0 to support you to build both these structures, both your business and your dating life, both at the same time. It is a monthly mentorship and training program. It is my best content, the content that I save for this program. Literally, and this applies to Sovereign CEO and Alpha Male 2.0 because, again, it's an umbrella under each. Okay? This program is going for 13 years now. I think that's right. 13, 14 years. So I have 13 years of content in this program. You have instant access to as soon as you sign up. And this is cheap. It is the only program of its kind in the entire world. And I mean that. We teach you both training in business and training in your woman life. What other program on the internet will you get both? Yeah, you don't. And it's not just a bunch of fucking Discord and WhatsApp groups, which is what most of these things are these days. You pay a fee per month and you just get access to a bunch of WhatsApp shit and a bunch of Discord shit, and that's it. Oh, no. You're about to see what this is. A systematic way to accomplish your Alpha 2.0 goals for your life. That's the entire point of this program, and it's cheap as fuck. You guys who complain about Business Builder being too expensive and this is cheap. Any person watching this can afford this. Cheap. Here's what you're going to get. Instant access to over 75 hours of how-to content. That is at least $3,000 in value. 101 audio trainings. These are not podcasts. These are audio trainings step by step. Do this, then do this on business, marketing, 5 flags, real estate, dating, non-monogamy, relationships, anti-aging, anything you can think of. Okay, plus over 40 training videos you get access to as soon as you sign up. They cover things like designing a location-dependent business, dating multiple women long-term with minimal drama, time management, 5 flags, international lifestyle, residencies, investing, physical energy, anti-aging, everything. Everything you can think of under the Alpha Male 2.0 banner. We talk about all this stuff. You can also get a full PDF transcript or you get audio. If you like to listen, read, or watch, all those options. So you get all that stuff. Plus, you get four live group trainings per month. 4. Up to $4,500. Now, let me describe how these meetings work. The first meeting is with me. That's the first week of the month. Matter of fact, we have one coming up this week, I think. Q&A with me. I sit there with the guys in the UMS program, formerly the SMIC program, and you just ask me whatever you want. If you missed the session, you can write an email in. I will answer the email live on the session. You can watch the recording. I do it the first Saturday of every month. We have a lot of fun. And I can talk about stuff I can't talk about publicly. Because a lot of times you guys ask me questions and say, I can't answer that. Sorry. Not in these. I answer everything. Some of you guys are in the program now or were in the program. You know, I tell you everything. I tell you everything. Email your question is, I cost 5-6 figures for one-on-one coaching. This is the cheapest way to get me by far because this is really, really cheap. Number 2 is a mastermind session with a coach. You go through your goals, you get advice from the group, you set new goals, and you set accountability with the coach for the next month. Okay, that's the second. The third one is a training seminar, and it's always a different topic every month. Half of them are woman topics, half of them are business 5 flags topics. We do both, a split of both. Okay, sometimes it's me, usually it's another coach. I think I just did one 2 months ago. And it's often based on suggestions from the group membership. Okay. Business, marketing, women, dating, 5 flags, time management, many other topics. Okay. Then meeting 4 is a happy hour. Just hang out and have fun with the guys. Okay. It's kind of that's something that a lot of guys want to have. So network with other guys in the group. You'll learn things from programs like this. You will not learn from people like me. It's part of the value of the program. Okay. Each meeting is on the same day and same time every month. So you can know when the schedule is. You'll get the video and MP3 audio if you missed it. You also get for the training seminars, you also get the transcript. You get all that stuff, okay? You get instant access to all the past meetings as soon as you sign up. Hours and hours and hours and hours of how-to content. So you get that. You get the 4 trainings per month. You also get, here's the new addition this year. This is awesome. This is at least $5,000 in value, at least if you were to buy these things. Every month that you are a member, you're up to $10,000 in value. You get a free course, mini course, or book every month, automatically sent to you every month you're a member. Every month you unlock a new book, course, or mini course. We have a schedule. It's free, just part of the program. The items would cost you anywhere from $20 to $1,500 per month. You get them free as part of the program. The longer you stay in the program and don't quit, the better the things become. It's to motivate you to stay in the program. You get a lot of shit. The bigger and better, the longer you stay. At 13 months, you get one-on-one coaching with me or Billy. At 20 months, if you stay 20 months, you literally get $5,600 in books, courses, and services that you would have to pay for if you wanted to miss it. For cheap. You're about to find out how cheap. So you get all the content, you get the meetings, you get the free course every month. You get the ultimate version of the Unchained Man up to $10,000. You get the PDF version, the Kindle version, and the EPUB version, plus the full unabridged audiobook in my voice, plus all the supplemental audios, tools, and charts with the ultimate version. It's not just the book; it's all the other stuff. Now, Caleb, are you coming out with a new version of the Unchained Man? Yes, I am. Hypothetical person. I'm glad you asked that question. When the new version is released, which will be October, late October, unless I'm late. I'm going to be pushing hard to make that deadline. October 25th is my self-imposed deadline for this. If you are a member of UMS, when the new version is released, you will get it free. You'll get the book, and you'll get the audiobook free. I'm just going to hand it to everyone in the program. It's yours. Yours. One point of clarification. There is a special Unchained Man course that I'm releasing at the same time of the book. You do not get that for free. You don't get that. It's a course with 30 lessons. It's a brand new course. You get the book, and you get the unabridged audio for free. Cool. Okay. So you get the 75 hours of content, the trainings. You get the free thing every month. You get the version of Unchained monthly hot sheet. Okay. Now, what this is, once a month, I sit down, I write a 2-page document. I call it the hot sheet. And it's a quick rundown of literally everything I am doing right now in all parts of my life. My woman life, my business life, my investments, my 5 flags, exactly what I'm doing, things I cannot talk about publicly anywhere. And again, you guys in the program, you know, I tell you all kinds of shit that people ask me publicly all the time. A lot of you guys would say, you know, these guys who ever ask you, Caleb, what about, have you done this or what are you doing now? And they're like, if they join the UMS, they know. I'm like, yeah, because I tell you guys everything. Who's Caleb fucking? I tell you all, I tell you everything with details that I not talk about publicly. And it's called What's Working Now, so you can clone what I'm doing. I say, hey, I'm doing this now, this is working. Or I'm doing this and this didn't work. So you can learn from what I'm doing right now in my business, everything. The good and the bad, I talk about all that stuff. These hot sheets are very popular in the program. You get one every month, PDF format. I used to do it every other month, now I do it every month. And you can instant access to all past hot sheets going back years if you want them. So you sign up. Okay. So you get the 75 hours, you get the 4 trainings per month, you get the free book or course every month, you get the Unchained Man, you get the hot sheet, instant access to past newsletters, teleconferences, and Q&A videos. We're up to almost $12,000. There's hundreds of hours of newsletter audio and video content for the past 13 years. I've been doing this for 13 years. It's all still there. You get access to all of it as soon as you sign up. Newsletters, audio downloads of past teleconferences we have on the phone, we have on Zoom, video downloads of past Q&A conferences, audio of some of the live seminars I've done. It's all there. You get access to all of it. So you get all that content, the meetings, the free thing every month, Unchained Man, hot sheet, all the stuff. You also get, yes, I have to throw that in because you guys asked, a members-only Discord group. So you get that because people wanted that. Private Discord server only for UMS members. That's it, managed by my staff. You can network with other people to program. Again, that's a big, compelling feature of this. Other guys want to talk to other Alpha 2.0s. Like, how do I find other Alpha 2.0? This is how you do it. Huge part of the value of the program, like I said. Lastly, after 90 days in the program, you have to stay 90 days to get this. You get massive across-the-board discounts on any of my products or services, just about all of them. Events, Sovereign CEO, books, courses. There's a whole schedule of discounts. Now, one thing, I'll talk about that in a second. You get hundreds of hours of content when you sign up. Plus, you get more every month. Questions. How long is the membership period? You decide it's monthly or annually, but if it's monthly, you pay quarterly. We stopped doing monthly payments, which is too much work. So you pay quarterly, but it's monthly. You can quit anytime you want, or it's annually. Do we cover investing topics? Yes, in great detail. Do I cover pickup stuff? Yes, in great detail. Online dating plus first date and second date game skills, which can be applied to day game, night game, social game. Okay. Do you cover 5 flags topics or sovereign CEO topics? Yes, in great detail. Again, Sovereign CEO Business 5 Flags is under the umbrella of Alpha 2.0. So the answer is yes. Yes. Caleb, I live in this country. Well, these techniques work there. Alpha Male 2.0 works anywhere in the Western world, plus most parts of Asia, plus all of South America. I would know about that. And Africa, I can't answer that. I don't know. Much parts of the civilized Middle East, like, Dubai, Bahrain, Qatar, places like that. So most of the world, yes. What we do with the topic breakdowns is half woman, half business. We try to keep it 50-50. We do our best. Can women join this program? No, it's for guys. The Unchained Man Society, that's what it's called. Now, we have had women in the past sign up with their husbands or their boyfriends' email addresses. We've had at least 3 women do this. So if you're a woman and you're going to, sneak around the rules, if you're giving me money, I guess I can't stop you. They don't show up for meetings because then they'd be like, there's a girl in here. But we've had women join secretly. But these are usually women who are cool with these topics, or else you wouldn't join a program like this. You cover business and woman topics, but I'm only interested in like woman stuff. Or I'm only interested in business stuff. Is that a problem? No, that's fine. Then ignore the 50% you don't like and just focus on 50% you like. It's fine. You get hundreds of hours of content. It's fine. Can I pay using crypto? The annual subscription option, yes, you can. The monthly recurring, no, you cannot. Do you take requests from members regarding seminar topics? Yes, that is where most of the seminar topics come from. So you can say, hey, could you do a seminar on da-da-da? We'll probably do it. Is the membership tax deductible? Probably not, because half of it is not business. So my standard answer is ask your accountant. So if all you did was to make 100% of your income location dependent from this, how much would that be worth to you? Or just getting your income up, increase your income. Or dating one more attractive woman in your life. Or God, getting your girlfriend or wife to let you fuck other women. Done a lot of that. I've trained a lot of guys how to do that. 2 or 3 of you right now, working with me right now, and then aren't you? Oh, yeah. What would that be worth? So $12,000 is the value of this program. $83 a month. You are stupid if you don't use this, if this is something you want. You are dumb. And I'm saying that literally. If this is something, if you don't want any of this, then don't buy it. But if this is of interest to you, you're dumb to not get this. Now, that's $83 a month if you pay annually. If you pay quarterly, which is monthly, so monthly billed quarterly, it's $97 a month. It's not even $100. Any man in the world can afford this. I made this very, very cheap so no one can complain they can't afford it. I don't understand why you wouldn't sign up for something that's cheap. This is one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest thing I offer. And on top of that, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. Of course. Okay. Your deadline to sign up, if you want some free stuff, is this Saturday night. Caleb, don't you have 90-day business builder too? Yes, I'll talk about that in a second. If you sign up by Saturday night, September 30th, midnight, EST, we will throw in 2 of our most popular mini courses. We'll throw them in for free as a free bonus. How to set up a corporation, step-by-step instruction, how to do that. That's for Americans only. I apologize. And the Sugar Daddy game, not the Instagram girl course, the Sugar Daddy course. We will give that to you for free. It's yours. That's a very popular course. We just throw that in. Now, Saturday night, September 30th, unchainedmansociety.com. Unchainedmansociety.com. It's there. You'll see the deadline on there. Now, Business Builder this week, if you want to sign up for Business Builder 2, that has Friday night deadline. So here's what I will do for you guys, because it's weird we're doing both at the same time because it's the end of the month. Here's what I'll do for you. I don't normally do this. If you sign up for UMS now, like in the next few days or today or tomorrow, like soon, it's fucking $84. If you sign up now and then you want to sign up for the 90-day business builder this week, we will give you a discount. Normally you have to wait 90 days. I'll just give it to you now. So if you do that, you go to 90-day business. So you go to unchainedmansociety.com, sign up there, become a member. Then you go to 90daybizbuilder.com, schedule your call, tell the person you talk to, I'm a member of UMS. Caleb said he'll give me a discount. We will give you a discount. We won't make you wait 90 days for that one exception because they have similar deadlines. 90-day business builder is Friday night. UMS is Saturday night. Cool. Okay. Okay. Should we do Q&A? Should we do it? So if I shrink this, can you still read it? Let's see how this works here. I'm going to make it big. Keep it big for a little while. All right. Let's do Q&A. So go ahead and type your questions, and I will take a drink. I've been talking a lot. Man, I've been talking a lot. See, I get animated when I talk about Alpha Male 2.0 because that's my core, baby. Sovereign CEO is important, but it's a means to an end for Alpha Male 2.0. All right, let me rewind your questions here. Look at all these questions. My goodness. God, where was it? Let's see. My girlfriend never denies me sex and even harasses me all the time about wanting me to fuck her. However, even with that, I still desire sex with other women. I love variety. Correct, and you are normal. You are a normal, healthy man. I still get men asking me questions, but if she's hot and has sex whenever I want, why would I want to ever fuck another girl? You will. A, you will eventually. Right now, she's new. B, what's going to happen when, not if, you want to have sex with her? She says, no. What are you going to do? You're going to pay her? You're going to beg her like a little bitch? What are you going to do? You're going to go upstairs and open your laptop and jerk off to porn like a little beta that you are, because you're not allowed to fuck other girls, you beta. So that's not going to work. Am I a normal human if I'm satisfied with having sex with one woman? You are satisfied now. You will not be satisfied forever. And answer what I just said. You want to have sex with her and she says no. What are your options? Oh, you don't have it. The climate warmed 0.1 degrees between 2000. I don't think it's been to affect fight. Yeah, it's not. I do very well online dating. However, I have not approached a woman in real life since 2012. I've often automatically think that every woman I come across finds me hideous. What are your tips? You have a self-esteem problem. Most men think they're uglier than they are. I did an experiment where I said, if you think you're ugly, send me a picture of you, and I'll tell you if you're ugly or not. All these really good-looking guys sending pictures, I'm ugly. You're great. You're better looking than me, dude. So you have a self-esteem problem. If the only reason you're not approaching women is because you think they're hideous, try approaching a woman and see what happens, and you'll be shocked. Dress up, look good, shave, look good that day. You might surprise yourself. As a matter of fact, I know you will. Let's see a few comments here. Comments, looking for questions here. I've been using sugar dating sites just as regular dating apps, and just tell the women directly that I don't want SB relationship, and it's worked. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Correct. If it's working, then continue. Some guys can pull it off. It's called Salt Daddy game. I've done a little bit of that. Yeah. How can we avoid becoming nouveau riche? I am that. I am nouveau riche. I'm Billy was telling me last year, he says, you know, Caleb, I love you, but you're very new money. I said, I know. Or maybe becoming like old money types. Bro, I'm in scenarios all the time. Not all the time. That's not true. I have been in multiple scenarios, especially last few years, where I'm with a bunch of old money people, and me and Pink, I walk in, I'm this big asshole barbarian, doesn't give a shit. Pink Firefly walks in with her big boobs and her hair that goes past her ass, platinum blonde, and people are like, what the fuck is this? They're like, yes, I went to Harvard. I'm like, I didn't graduate high school. I make more money than you. Woo! Outcome independent, you shouldn't care. What if you practice tantra with your wife and do not have dopaminergic novelty-seeking sex? You already asked that question. Is it weird if I find hooking up with Eastern non-Western women too easy? Why would that be weird? No. I actually enjoy my non-sexual time with Western women and find their personalities more appealing than Eastern women. Okay, it's fine. That's fine. Do what you like. It's fine. You mentioned that you would, if you had time, do licensing and turnarounds. I absolutely would. I don't have time, but I would. Oh my God, yes. Which niches would you target and which problems would you solve in each? That's a very complex question I could answer in a quick answer like this. Q&A. You've taught a lot on finding a business niche. Could you please do some content on techniques for identifying your niche's problem and how to identify if solving that problem is a moneymaker? I may do a webinar on that. Maybe. No promises. I'm back and forth on that. What does downgrading an OLTR look like? That is very difficult. Downgrading an OLTR is very hard. You can do it, but it's hard. She probably will not accept being downgraded to FB unless she's already fallen in love with another guy, which means you fucked up that relationship. It's messy. So better, usually it's an OLTR. I tell guys to make a clean break and just move on and then have her circle back later instead of downgrade. That's hard. MLTR's FB is downgrading, upgrading. It's a lot easier, but that's hard because you've satisfied this level of expectation. There's no easy way to do it. Now, if you're at an advanced level of game, you can figure it out. You can do it. Do you really have a spreadsheet of all the women you've banged? Yes. What do you put in the notes, etc.? Lots of things. I put in when we had sex. I put in their height. I put in their age when we first started having sex, so I could kind of measure how old they are now if it's been a few years. I put in their nationality. I put in lots of notes. Yeah. What are your experiences with women who are openly non-monogamous compared to usual women that practice FB and FWB relationships? To me, those the same thing, but have an expectation of monogamy later. The vast majority of normal women in the Western world will have an expectation of monogamy. Women who are super polyamorous are still not the norm. Now, more as time goes on, you'll see more of those girls, absolutely. But most women you see, unless you're pure sugar daddy shit, they're going to have that expectation. That's something you manage. It's called the cardinal rules. Off topic, I can't get into those because that's a little complicated. But go look at my Alpha 2.0 YouTube channel for the cardinal rules. There's like 9 of them. You do all 9. That's how you do it. You tell your OLTR about sugar babies and that you pay for sex. Yeah, I tell her literally everything. Pink Firefly likes to know details, then she is less jealous. Or does that reduce her value in your eyes? No. When Pink Firefly sees pictures of the women I'm having sex with, sugar baby or not, she's like, oh my God, it raises my value dramatically. Because you're not getting it for free. I get some stuff for free, even if I'm not. Sugar babies do not fuck you unless they are attracted to you on some level. Hookers have to fuck you. That's their job or else they'll get fired. Sugar babies are very picky. And she knows this because she knows some sugar babies. So, no. All it does is help in terms of attraction, right? Just once say thanks for doing this. You're very, very welcome. Business growth consulting, what would be the main things to consult on any metrics or KPIs is a done-for-you solution, create assets for them, a higher ticket price than just strategy consults. So your first question, too complicated for me to answer. Your second question, yes. Well, it's higher ticket, but it may not be higher margin. So done for you is a lot of work. It's a lot more complexity. That's why I have avoided it. Although I have something coming up where I'm partnering with some other people to do something. Can't talk about that. But yes, definitely way higher price points. You just got to make sure the margins are still good. Done with you is much higher, easier to have higher margins, but the price points are low. Is there a new edition of 500K BA being planned at the moment for possible soon? Yes. Yes. Plus, you can do coaching with me now. You can do coaching with me. It's thousands of dollars, but you can do it now. I open that back up. I think I have one slot at the moment. One or two. I have one or two slots available. If you can afford several $1,000s, send me an email, theonlyblackdragon@gmail.com. And maybe we have to do a quick call, see if it works for you or not. But yes, the answer to your question on 500K is yes. If you had a magic wand, you could do turnarounds. What main strategies change? You asked that already. Too complicated. When you have customers from different countries, do you have to pay sales tax to that customer's country? No. In most cases, no. Can you give us some examples of text messages a man can send that would boost a woman's attraction levels for him? The way texts work is they do not boost attraction. They can only reduce attraction. So your goal in texting a woman or DMing on an app is to not say anything that will reduce attraction. Oh my God, you're so pretty. You reduce attraction. But there's no text I can give you that'll make her go, ooh, now I'm horny for him. No. Texts just are neutral or negative. They are never positive. When you meet on the first date, second date, third date, in the real life interaction, that's how you boost attraction. There are no texts you can do to boost attraction. You just avoid doing things that will reduce attraction, like texting her every day, texting her all the time, telling her she's pretty, telling her she's really smart, kissing her ass, agreeing with her on everything, that kind of stuff. Don't do that on text. How do we do the Alpha 2.0 technique centered around Western conditions when we're exiting to Southeast Asia and America? BD dating system, Western culture-based technique, or those conditions. Though everything I teach will work in Southeast Asia, bro, no problem. There are some parts of Asia, not Southeast Asia, Asia that are more conservative, like Taiwan, but Taiwan's not Southeast Asia. Taiwan's harder. India's harder. Those are harder markets because they're more traditional. Southeast Asia, you're fine. All my models work. A lot of people killing it in Southeast Asia with my stuff. Thoughts on renting for light and avoiding home ownership in its entirety. That's fine as long as you own other real estate that you rent out. You better have a lot of investments. That's fine. I don't own anything by choice. And I may not own anything. I may not own my home for the foreseeable future. And I could buy a house right now, pay cash. I don't. But I have investments that are making me a lot of money. So you don't rent and not invest. You rent and then go buy real estate, pay it off and rent it out, and that becomes your retirement and passive income. I mean, that's Grant Cardone stuff, right? He says, don't own your house. He's right about that. Kind of. Depends what your objectives are. With non-monogamy, how does it work if you, MLTR, has a high sex drive? Would she be an ex? No, those are great. My last girlfriend before Pink Firefly had an insatiable sex drive. She was almost an OLTR. She was wonderful. So no, that's wonderful. Why is that a bad thing? That's great. When hitting up an ex after 6 months of no contact, you say to have a brief back and forth text exchange. But what if she takes hours or worse days in between replies, and then it's no longer brief? Then you shorten as long as you can, and that's not a good sign. That means her interest is not there. If she's taking hours or days to respond to you, well, days are different than hours. Hours, she could be busy. She could be at work or something. But that's not a good sign. One or two more responses to get out of there. Is this similar to the Maximum Freedom course? No, it is not. Maximum Freedom course is a bunch of videos. That's it. That's all it is. There's no help. There's no meetings. It's not similar at all. No. Is this course in line with the values of the Old Testament? No, it is not. Other than non-monogamy. You mean non-monogamy? Sure. Other than that, no. The Old Testament was Alpha Male 1.0. Being assaulted and having all these concubines and running their lives. That's Alpha Male 1.0 stuff. That is not Alpha 2.0. How to maintain motivation when you are in monk mode building your goals. I don't recommend monk mode. I think it's a terrible idea. Don't do it. Watch my video. There's a video I have on my YouTube channel called Monk Mode is Bullshit. Watch it. Gaining weight, muscle, starting businesses, preparing for surgery to fix health. Well, preparing for surgery is different. No, you can still have sex. I'm wrong. No. Would you focus on women anyway? You want to focus on women. Have an FB. Have one FB. So you can get laid. And then you can focus on work. I've said this many times, guys. Now, this is me now. I'm not projecting on you. This is me. I don't have sex because I want to have sex. Huh? Yeah. I don't have sex 3 times a week because that's my number. Because I want to have sex. I'm horny, and I am. I have sex so I can focus on my work and focus on my mission. Many reasons, many guys can't focus on their work and can't focus on their mission because they're horny all the time and they're jerking off the porn, and then they see on Instagram a hot girl, oh man, I wish I could have sex. I don't have that problem because I get laid. So I have sex. Just had sex this morning. I had sex. She left. I got back to work and I could focus on work all day long. Effective, productive workaholic. That's why I have sex. So you don't say, I better not have sex, then I can't focus on my work. I tried that in my early 20s. I thought, like many of you young guys, okay, I just won't have sex. I won't date girls. I won't get a girlfriend. Don't get a girlfriend was smart. But I won't date at all. I won't have any sex so I can focus on my work. Boy, was that a mistake. Huge mistake. I had a rough time. Not a good idea. Monk mode sucks. Open relationships seem to be more popular these days. Correct. If a woman puts no open relationship in her online dating profile, do you still proceed as normal with the model? Yes. Always ignore, if she's under the age of 33, always ignore everything she says in her profile. She will not follow through on these things. Women say all kinds of stuff in their profiles they will never follow through on. I would never have an open, women told me I would never have an open relationship, and then they're having an open relationship with me. Women have said to me, I have a 6-date rule before I have sex, and I'm banging her on the second date. It's just stupid. No. The answer is yes. Will you be doing a 90-day business builder starting in early 24? Probably. For long distance FBs, do you check in via text periodically? Yeah, I just did a thing on that, didn't I? Did I do a thing? Yeah. I just did an FB video on my YouTube channel. Yeah. Just to stay on the radar, even there's no plan to see them for a few months until they return to your area. Yes, that's what you need to do. Love the Unchained Business Podcast. How was your response to it? It was great, but Billy is busy. And so she's more busy now than she's been in a long time. We both are. That's still on our agenda to have a podcast with other people besides me, other coaches we have, our customers we have. It's just, we're busy. And it's not a big moneymaker. It's a branding thing, not a sales thing. It's still important to do, but it's not as urgent as another thing we're working on. I still want to do it. She wants to do it, but we're busy. And we got to prioritize. That sucks. Do you think that the different types of game have been getting easier the last few years? No. All the types of game have gotten harder. Night game has gotten harder. Day game has gotten harder. Online dating has gotten harder. Social circle game has gotten easier. So that is the one that's gotten much easier. For those good at this, social circle game kills now. But night game, day game, online are all much more difficult than they were back in, 2006, 2010. Oh, yeah, without a question. How do we create a problem or a reason to act now for sales copy to sell an info product that's for a hobby? For example, a course to learn acoustic guitar. Well, that's a low-ticket item. I wouldn't sell that. That would not be my first choice on something to sell. Because how are you niched? How are you different? You set up deadlines, kind of like I do. UMS, you have a bonus if you sign up by a certain day. 90-day business builder, you have to sign up or you're going to miss out on this iteration. Do you have deadlines? That's the easiest way to do it. Invent some, but stand by them. My ex-FB is seeing a guy and doesn't want to have sex while with him. Correct. It's called a listen fitty. I just described that earlier. That is very normal. She's still very excited to see me. Don't see her. I can keynote her and be sexual, have fun. No. Do not meet up with her unless you're ready, unless you're going to have sex with her. Try next or keep it till she's bored with him. Get out of her life. Stop talking to her. You may have just fucked this up by talking to her. Because the rule is you wait at least 6 months, minimum 4 months before you have any contact with her when she has a new guy. If you're still talking to her when she has a new guy, you've murdered attraction. So you may have just killed your odds. Stop talking to her for 6 months or until you know she's broken up with him. Get out of her life and vanish. That's what will create attraction. Now you're in friend zone, which murders attraction. What are your suggested response to the common first date question for women? What are you looking for in a relationship? That's an older, yeah. For context, my target is 35 to 50-year-old women. I'm 58, not interested in remarrying any old. Okay. Women over 33 are going to ask this question. Women over the age of 33 are provider hunters. That's why they ask. If you dated a 24-year-old, she wouldn't ask that question because she doesn't care what you want, which is good. The standard answer to that is I'm open to anything. I'm open to anything. And you don't get into these deep discussion topics on a first fucking date. You don't know each other. I'm open to anything, and you redirect back to her. Well, how was your last boyfriend? You get her talking. When the West collapses, won't Alpha 2.0 have that choice of virtually any woman who would be competition besides other Alpha 2.0s? That's an over-exaggeration, but yes, the collapse will help us sexually. It already is. It's helped a lot me. It's helped a lot of you sexually. I mean, it's easier now. Oh my God. As the economy gets worse, women will cling more to strong men. Women will cling to Alpha Male 1.0s, but women eventually go crazy from Alpha Male 1.0s overbearing control freak shit. They can't stand that. Western women. Non-Western women kind of like it. Western women can't stand that garbage. They're just like, oh, get me out of here. So yeah. Does content in the Unchained Man Society talk about techniques for identifying the problems in a business niche the business niche might have? Yes. Has that topic been discussed in the Unchained Man Society? Yes. Not in depth. We really go in depth in the 90-day business mode on that. We have talked about the UMS, but not in depth. Kayla, I really enjoyed the podcast show with Alan Roger Curry. Alan Roger Curry. That was a long time ago. My God. I consider you two the best, although he has passed away. You know, I talked to him several years ago in Florida. We caught up. He's a sweetheart, or he was a sweetheart, and he doesn't come off like a sweetheart, but he's a sweetheart. He's a sweet guy, or he was a sweet guy. Yeah, I know he passed away. I know it sucked. Two of my favorite guys have passed away. Tom Ferrero's gone, and my mode one's gone. Alan's gone. Sucks. Part of life, though. Death is part of life, unfortunately. Yeah, he was a good guy. Liked him a lot. Very different approach than me. Very different model than me. He recommends on day game, like walk up to a girl, start talking to her, whisper her, I want to slide my cock in your wet pussy. The opposite of what I teach, but hey, that worked for him. Regarding dating VYW are very young women under the age of 24. You've given slightly differing answers about how upfront to be about giving your true age. I have not. Such as on dating sites, can you clarify how to tell them at the beginning? I have been differing answers. No, I have not. All right, so here's what I said. I've been very consistent about this, as far as I know. Either you are honest or you lie a little bit on your profile, but you come clean either when you're scheduling the first date or the first 5 minutes of the first date. You say, hey, by the way, I'm not, or you do it in your profile. Although these days you swipe, it's on a profile. Back in the old days, you can say in your profile, hey, look, I'm not really 25. Okay. So, but you come clean soon in the interaction. Once you're talking to her, you tell her before the first date to save you time if she's a type 1, or you tell her on the first date, hey, by the way, I'm 51. By the time she's on the first date, she may not care, but it depends what kind of woman she is. But that's my answer. Or you tell the truth. I tell the truth. I use it as a DHV. I'm 51. There was a woman a little while ago this year where I was like, I don't remember the context discussion. She is in her 20s. I was talking to her about, we were talking about age or something. I said, so, I'm more than double your age. So, I mean, she's like, and she goes, that's hot. I love that. That's fucking hot. Yeah, she's type 2. Let's see. Do they still have poop trucks still in Dubai? Are you talking about the Burj Khalifa trucks? I assume. Oh. What problems did you solve as a consultant for construction and biotech industries? Productivity and strategic planning, mostly productivity. Most of those. and some technological stuff. Can you have Keith back for a Q&A? He was great. Yeah, Keith is the shit. I would love to have him back. Yes. Hang on, I got to ban a teenager. Let's see. I'm Indian and I struggle with getting a woman off. That's not hard. Get a vibrator. Got one right over there. I'm a very visual learner. Did you demonstrate a pink firefly in the elite coaching program? That's so funny. I don't know why that's funny. I got to tell her this. Hey, sweetheart, guess what someone asked? Pink firefly, could you lay down here and spread your legs? I want to show the guys. No, I did not demonstrate her. Let's see. My book on go to haveopenrelationships.com, the ultimate open relationship manual. I have an entire chapter on sexual technique, on the 4 ways in which you make a woman come. But frankly, if you're having that much trouble, go buy a little vibrator. That's all you need. That's the cheat to this. It works. It's fine. There you go. I am not a woman. Well, good for you. I'm not either. Non-monogamy works well in almost all countries, everywhere from Mexico down to Chile. Yes. Yes, it works great. Yep. Despite with the high drama and yet very Catholic, Latino cultures and open relationships are still possible. Are you fucking kidding? So here's the thing about Latino cultures. They're used to non-monogamy because Latin men cheat so much. So they're almost kind of used to it. And the Catholic thing, that's out the door. They don't live Catholic lifestyles. They say they're Catholic, but they don't live the Catholic lifestyles. Are you kidding me? No, they are. Now, you will get more drama in some cases because Latino women are more fiery, more prone to drama, right? That's why I like Paraguay, because they're not like that. They're the chill Latinos. But yes, Mexican girls are going to give you more drama, but they'll still do it. So there's more management involved. But yes, there are plenty of guys, myself included, who have non-monogamous relationships all throughout those countries. Hang on, got to ban another teenager. Okay, let's see. So would you focus on getting 1 or 2 FBs, even if it takes a long time under your current situation? Why would it take a long time? Or would you do sugar daddy game only temporary for a while? You only pay for sex if you meet the 2 criteria. Number 1, you are able to have sex with a woman who's at least cute without paying for it. You know how to do that, even if it takes you a few weeks. You know you have that ability because you've done it before. Number 2, you make plenty money. You make a good income. If you're making $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year, you don't do sugar daddy game. So if you apply to both those, yes, it's valid. If you don't, no, then no, you can't. No. Let's see. I'm trying to decide between signing a lease for a year in the USA versus digital nomad to save money. Why would you stay in the USA then? I have 6-figure savings, ramping up businesswoman life, but free in other aspects, no debt, no obligations. Why on earth would you stay in the United States? You'll also get the foreign earned income exclusion, which means your first $120,000 will be tax-free. Why would you even consider staying in the United States? I don't understand the question. I understand the context. Breaking out from the beta alpha 1.0 life. Well, those are 2 very different things, but okay. Advice on how to manage good collegial relations when dealing to break away from what they are doing and quitting the good collegial relations when deciding to break away from what they are doing and quitting the job. I don't understand your question. Are you talking about college? I don't understand your question. You can rewrite it. I don't understand. What about Hill's sexual transmutation? I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. You don't transmute your desire for sex into other things. That's not how it works unless you're a monk, and you're not a monk, okay? Instead, you make it irrelevant. I've talked about this. You live all your sexual fantasies, you bang lots of super hot girls, and now you don't think about the stuff because you've done it all. I've done it all. I don't think about these crazy fantasies anymore because I've lived them all. So now this sexual desire I have at that level is just not part of. I did a whole podcast on this. It's just not part of my life anymore because I've done it all. So that's the answer. And that might take you some time. Fine. Get to work. Fine. Is it a good idea to prioritize easy to create video content that you can crank out faster over more in-depth content that takes longer to produce? That is a organic content strategy, and it depends on many factors. There's no right or wrong answer. Some people do the former, some people do the latter. Depends on your content strategy. And organic video content strategies is not my strong suit. So you shouldn't ask me that question. Go ask John Somnes. Bulldog Bite. Ask him. He does big, long content videos. But there are a lot of guys killing it doing small videos. It depends on your strategy. What sort of monetization model would you recommend for a value-based pricing consultant to other niches managing strategy consulting? What sort of monetization model? Your question makes no sense. Value-based pricing is the monetization model. So that question makes no sense. Get Eric blocked or shut up. Yeah. Relax. What my rules about this is ignore trolls. Outcome independent. Ignore them. Why is it easier to be an Alpha 2.0 today and in the next few years if most game types have been getting harder? Everything I just said. So the game styles are harder, but you have less competition. And it's easier to bang the really hot girls. So I know that sounds strange, but it's true. Now, the reason online dating is harder because more men are in there, right? And women have already done this. They see all the tricks and tips. They see all this stuff. But once you have a woman face-to-face in front of you, it's easier, especially if it's on a first date. It is easier. It is. And you will do the things necessary to go through the hardness. So back in 2005, 6, I've talked about this. Normal, everyday beta males with very little game, as long as they looked okay, not good-looking guys, normal-looking guys, could go on Match.com and just rack up lays. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 girls, like they were experienced pickup artists, right? So that's not the reality. The reality is if you have the dating skills, like we talked about early on, then the difficulty doesn't apply to you nearly as much. It applies to the normal guys. This is too hard. This is bullshit. That guy. Make sense? Were you able to pull this off with religious tradcon women? Yes, many times. I'm surprised that a new online dating app hasn't come along and replaced older ones. I am surprised too. I'm very surprised. But this has to do with the collapse of the Western world. I'm shocked that Twitter is still a thing. I thought Twitter would go away years ago, which is collapsing on itself. There are forces at play here that are bigger than this shit. So yeah, I'm shocked that TikTok hasn't been banned in the United States. It's a Chinese spy op, and that's not a conspiracy theory. It's literally what it is. But it's still here. So yeah. Why do you think this is? I can't give you specifics, but it's an overall thing about society is not what we thought it was going to be. As I've talked about before, we live in a parallel timeline where the bad guys won. The left elites are in control of everything. Is it a big video about the 3 companies that own everything? And they're all left-wing companies. And it's just, I don't know. To see if anything new that is an early adopter phase. No, I'm not. For a while, it was seeking arrangement. Now that's become like the mid-range phase now. It's no longer early adopter at all. Let's see. What are your thoughts on legal separation versus getting divorced? Depends what your objectives are. Depends your scenario. I can't just answer that. Do you use condoms over the vibrators for FBs? I don't. I wash them, though. Wash them very thoroughly. If they ask, you can. Have you ever mistakenly introduced your wife to someone as Pink Firefly? No. No, I use her real name a lot. So, I don't call her around the house. Hey, Pink Firefly. I use her real name. No. When we run into people who are my fans, I'll say, this is Pink Firefly. I go, oh my God. So that's happened, but no, I haven't. No, that'd be funny. Hi, this is Pink Firefly. I'd be like, what the fuck? You mentioned listings earlier. I may be in that category. Have you considered it? You probably not. If you think you're a listing, you're a listing. Not like I think I might be a listing. No, if you think you might be a listing, you are a hardcore listing. Have you considered a course or webinar with all specific advice on how to make yourselves take action? I have, but as a listing, you're not motivated to take action. That's your fucking problem. So if I say, here's a $500 course on how to take action, you'd be like, I don't want to take it. I don't want $500. You wouldn't do it. I sell things to people who are motivated to make changes. Listings aren't. You wanted to listen to another Joe Rogan podcast. I mean, that's just, right? Oh, no, not Joe Rogan. If you're a true listener, you're going to listen to, who's the guy with the suit and tie? Who's that guy's name? Who's that AI guy? He talks like this. He talks like a robot. What's his name? Hang on. It's driving me crazy. I've lost it. What's that guy's name? He's got a huge podcast now. Lex Friedman. That's you want to listen to another Lex podcast, right? Why are you against pay for play? I'm not. I do it all the time. I have sugar babies. What's wrong with having sex with 8 plus 10 working girl? You mean hookers? So I'm talking about sugar daddy, not hookers. I'm not against hookers. That's just not my thing. I'm not into hookers. It is okay to pay for hookers if you have those two criteria. You have the ability to hook up with girls, or at least cute, not ugly fat girls, but cute girls without paying for them. You've done it recently. You know how. You can do that. You make tons of money. Then go ahead and bang hookers. It's fine. That's not my thing. You could. It's fine. All right. Caleb doesn't have fantasies, only memories. Right. It's true. It's true. It's true. I don't have fantasies anymore. I lit them all. I'm 18-year-old female and like older pasty white men with a little extra. Okay. Hang on. A lot of teenagers today. The context of the USA versus digital nomad thing, having a base to handle women life logistics and other life logistics versus moving around, or should I just move to Paraguay? So it depends on if you want FBs or MLTRs. FBs, you're good. You can have FBs all over the world. I do. MLTRs that's a problem. If you're going to be a digital nomad and constantly shifting your locations, MLTRs is hard. It's very difficult. You can do it. It's really hard. OLTR is impossible unless OLTR wife is possible. I mean, I'm doing it right now. I'm separate from my wife for a few months. It's possible as long as you're very organized and financially organized, or your OLTR comes with you and you bang FBs with her, So it depends. Depends what your objectives are. Do you think it's worth it to invest time, money, effort building a good social media profile to improve your dating life? Or do you think that social media is not that effective? It is effective, but I wouldn't spend a lot of time on it. Spend a week or two on your Instagram page with some cool photos, and that's it. Then move on. Then get to work. So I wouldn't spend time. It does help, sure, yeah. Thanks for your time and generosity in the Q&A. You're welcome. Let's see. A few of you are talking to each other. Okay, cool. I feel I am dumping many excellent work relations if when I leave my day job for my Alpha 2.0 life, quite hard. Any thoughts on that sacrifice? Bro, they're called friends. Go hang out with them on the weekend. Go to a bar and hang out with your old buddies, with your ex-coworkers. You can still have friends. Why do you have to go work with them to maintain a friendship? That's insane. You're not thinking correctly. This is societal programming. Oh, if I can't work with them, I can't hang out with them. Why? Do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. I have friends that are people I've worked with. It's fine. Your tips have certainly helped me over the last 2 years. Sleep with many attractive women from online dating. Cool. I hope to transfer these skills in real life. Cool. Yeah. They're transferable. Yeah. If you're good at online dating, that means you're good at date game, right? So you might not be good at cold approach day game. You might not be good at that. But you're very good at when a woman is sitting down in front of you never met, gaming her that way. Because you can't get laid with online dating if you're not good at date game. I have an entire book called Get to Sex Fast. About the entire book is the first and second date and a little bit on the third date to get to sex quickly. That's all it is. Because you have to be good at that to be good at online dating. Otherwise, and some guys do this, they're really good at the online portion. They get all these first dates that go nowhere. It's brutal. So that's what the real life game comes in. The knock against online dating way back in the pickup artist days was you don't need any game. Yeah, you do need game. Online dating doesn't mean you swipe right, and the girl runs over to your apartment, runs in your house, and jumps on your dick. You still have to use real life game to get her to come back to your place, right? Right. See that referral and social game with a bit of Instagram game are the only game styles that will work really well in the future. I don't know that for a fact. That's hard to predict, but probably, yes. Probably. Other than for free game. Sugar daddy stuff, not counting sugar daddy stuff, probably is. Sugar daddy game will increase. And it's almost the norm now as the economy gets worse and worse. Could we ask for a follow-up podcast or a video for listings? Sure, I'll do that. Sure. I'll kick your guys' asses. Sure, no problem. MLTRs with a trifecta lifestyle is my biggest hurdle in my woman life. You mean trifecta as in Andrew Henderson trifecta? Yeah, that's hard. That MLTRs are not conducive to that lifestyle. It's FBs or an OLTR. Now, there's no easy answers for that. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. And I have people, who I know are wrestling with that now. They move around. And this is why I got married, my version of marriage, OLTR marriage, before I left the United States. That's exactly why I did it. I didn't want to mess around with MLTRs as I'm going around the world. That's one of the reasons I did it. I don't want to have to mess with that shit. So, yeah, that's why I did it. I said, at least settle down the one first and then move her. Now, that created a whole new set of problems and logistical problems and expense. And so I'm not saying that was a perfect idea either, but that's one of the reasons I did it. After this Saturday, will all the items mentioned today and the Unchained Man still be available? Yes, except for the bonuses. Great stream, great course. Thanks, man. You're very welcome. All right. So should we wrap this up? Unchained Man Society, your deadline is Saturday night. 90-Day Business Builder, for those who want that, your deadline is Friday night. So Unchained Man is unchainedmansociety.com or 90daybizbuilder.com for 90-Day Business Builder. Now, that's 90-Day Business Builder is thousands of dollars. Okay? This is $87. You're a moron if you don't get it, if you want the stuff. It doesn't make sense to not do this. And you want to work, you want to have a private or semi-private, me plus a small group live. We can talk about anything you want. It's not public. Every month, this is how you do it. $80 a month or whatever it is. That's how you do it. Okay, a few more questions. All right, I'll do this really quick. We've been talking. I've been going for 2 hours and 12 minutes. Mother humper. Do Salt Daddy game girls get the chance to become MLTRs or straight off the bat, Sugar Daddy girls stay FBs forever? Salt Daddy girls are not Sugar Daddy girls. So, yes, they could become MLTRs unless they start demanding money later. You got to be careful about that. If they don't do that, you can do anything you want with them. You can be MLTRs. If you're paying them, no MLTRs. No. Why would you pay a girl to date you? Paying a girl to fuck you, okay, got it. Paying a girl to date you? Disgusting. Why would you do that? So, yes. But no, Sugar Daddy, you're not paying. That's just how you met them. So that's okay. Perfectly fine. I agree with most of your first date advice, but when I show her my spreadsheet, she gets angry and doesn't want to finish the date, so this advice does not seem to work. What are you talking about? Show her your spreadsheet? That is not my advice. Where have I ever said you show her your spreadsheet, all the girls you banged on the first date? What the fuck are you making a joke? Because you made me laugh. You're making a joke, you made me laugh. Hey, baby, hang on a second. I got to show you my spreadsheet of my 600 women I fucked before you. Some of them are, young enough to be your daughter. So here's Susie. Oh, man. Oh, God. That's good. Okay. Where was I here? You animals. What's your system for keeping informed on all the things you have outsourced to others? Basecamp. Basecamp is where I do all that tracking. Have you found a way to get paid well from blogging? I have a podcast coming up, Alpha Male 2.0 podcast. I have part 2 to that discussion. Stay tuned. I watch the podcast or watch the video. It's coming soon. Maybe even this week. I don't know anything about Sugar Daddy game, but is it possible to do that with normal women from traditional online dating sites? Yeah, it's been done, especially in other countries. You mean meet a woman on Tinder and make her your sugar daddy? Yes. I don't recommend it. It's not a model that I recommend or follow, but I've seen guys do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially other countries, but United States too. Yeah. Right. Are Billy, Matthew, and Jeff contract workers? Everyone in my life is a contract worker. I do not have employees. You do not have any salary W-2 employees under the Alpha Male 2.0 model. Period. End story. Period. You never hire employees. Ever, never, ever. If you hire employees, you're violating the model. So one of my companies, in an indirect way, I'm violating the model because I have to. But I know what I'm doing. I know I'm violating that part of the model. And I'm at an income level most of you are not at, so I'm a little different category. But no, they're all workers. Yeah. Older man, younger woman, day game hurdle is being self-conscious about looking older than her, increases approach anxiety. That is correct. Because I've done a little day game, and I did it when I was in my late 30s with girls as young as 18, and I made it work. It was hard work, but I did it. I'm 40s, look 30s and fit. Any advice in self-confidence cold approach? Well, then what's your problem? If you look like you're 30s and you're fit, what's your problem? And again, today, young girls will happily bang a guy who looks like he's in his 30s. That's not a problem anymore. That was back in my day, 15 years ago. That was hard. That was like scary. Like, ooh, he's 35. Ooh, he's so old. Today, they're like, great, 35. Thank God. It's a whole different thing now, like I talked about earlier. So you're fine. All right, guys. I have to go. UnchainedManSociety.com. Deadline is Saturday. If you want Business Builder and you want the discount Business Builder, you sign for Unchained Man first, then 9businessbuilder.com. Cool. All right. Let's see. Oh, Billy is giving you advice. Tell them the truth. About what? About age? Right. Don't lie about your age in person. Online, you can lie, but then you have to tell them in person, like I said earlier. So I agree with Billy. Billy's giving you advice here. So listen to Billy. Very important. All right, I got to go, guys. One more question. Lena has a question. Can you speak on the new business with the doctors? No, I cannot talk about that publicly. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Sorry. Since we're probably out of your typical prior areas of expertise, but very interesting case study. And it's not hardcore yet because I'm working so hard in this company. So I can't talk about it. Sorry. I cannot do it. Okay. More questions. One more. I got to go. If you want to stay on the European continent, which country? Don't stay on the European continent. Europe's fucked. Which country is the least bad besides the Caucasus? You knew I was going to say Armenia. Least bad. I was thinking about Serbia. Yeah, I mean, Montenegro, Serbia, Bosnia, maybe Portugal. Yeah. Portugal's worse out of those four. The lower, the more southern East European countries, yeah, they're pretty and they're cheap and they're not, they're all right. I still wouldn't do it. Yeah. Okay, guys, I've got to go. I got to call my wife. She's on her break right now. So I will see you guys very soon. Probably I'll see you next week. Those are the two deadlines. Have fun. Boy.